And duck out.
All right.
Hi, everybody. I'll be back in a minute.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another Saturday night sci-fi shadow chat. Uh, Real quick, God, I love that music. Rick, wherever you are, I'm going to be eternally grateful for that intro music. Hope you're doing well this holiday season. I'm going to reach out to him. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Rick from 28 millimeter RPG, one of the nicest guys out there. Uh, yeah, it's been too long, man. So how's everybody out there in TV land doing? I hope you guys are having a nice weekend, getting ready for the holidays, and got all your Christmas shopping and preparations done. I still got to hang some lights. Can you believe that? But I got all the dinner stuff and the gifts, and tried to go to the post office today to mail something to our friend Bear over there in Canada, but apparently the Canadian Post is still being a bunch of asshats. Is that true, Dungeon Minister? Is your bail guy thing still on strike? Because I tried to mail something out to Bear the Gen X GM twice now, and with over the course of 3 or 4 weeks, and they're still on strike, according to our post office. Or well, either way, they wouldn't take the package, and I was kind of bummed because I knew it was going to be late for Christmas, but I still wanted him to, at least, show show up, a couple of days. Hi, twin. Long time no see. Merry Christmas. Hope you're doing fine out there. I think you're in the Philippines, right? Uh, the strike ended Tuesday. Okay, so what's the holdup? They're just overloaded with 4 weeks of. I can just imagine the mountain of undelivered mail. Um, but what's up, off grid? Okay, well, hopefully, maybe next week I can get it in the mail if they're accepting packages. Uh, I know he's kind of looking forward to what I'm sending him. So is that CP? Is that like Canadian Post or something like that? Off grid. And I hope you're ready for tomorrow's game tomorrow, off grid. I've been looking forward to it all week. One, no, not one. Two of my games got canceled this week. I kind of knew they would because it's the holidays and everything, and so I'm anxious to roll some dice and kill some player. I mean, have the player characters kill some monsters and do the stuff. Um, but yeah, this time of year, uh, real yeah, Canada Post. Uh, yeah, up until New Year's, the weekend after New Year's, I expect a lot of cancellations for this kind of stuff for people. All right, off grid. And as far as I know, Grimm's still he's out of the hospital, but he still can't do anything remotely taxing on the heart. So he won't be joining us again, which is a real bummer because he missed 2, 3 sessions inside uh, the dungeon Caliban, and I know he was really kind of bummed about that. So I'll have to do something to cheer him up when he gets back to the group. And I checked in Discord, and I think our game started actually uh, I want to say in February, not January. So we're getting close to our year anniversary, but not quite there yet. My ear trumpet has been struck by lightning. Welcome to the show. Uh, that reminds me of an old golden earring song title. You guys probably nobody here probably remembers it, but it's something like "You're gonna drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln," something like that. Just like the longest freaking title ever, next to the siege and investiture of Baron von Frankenstein's castle in Viseria by, like I said, Blue Oyster Cult. Come on, you could have shortened that by like 8 words. The backlog must be insane. Yeah. Well, they wouldn't take my package today, and I'll try again either next week or the week after. It'll probably have to be. Well, we'll see. We'll see what my schedule's like coming up. It is a small internet, isn't it? And you know what's funny is I don't know where Ear Trumpet's from, but like my co-host tonight, Dungeon Minister Off Grid, we must be Canada's favorite channel tonight. Just saying.
What? No, never. There's you got 3 out of the 4 Canadians.
Right, right. Well,
Well,
we're just
5 or
missing.
whatever.
We're just missing Mr. Max, and there's somebody else I know I'm forgetting.
Hmm.
Bill Paints Minis. That would be cool. Dungeon Minister, if you see him, tell him I said hi and Merry Christmas.
Hmm.
I'll hit him. I don't know about you guys, but like the night before Christmas or sometime really close to Christmas, I go through everybody on my Discord and wish them a Merry Christmas. Uh, and the same thing with New Year's and Thanksgiving and Easter and stuff like that.
It's too much work.
No, uh, and I don't, I don't, and nor would I ever dream of like sending a blanket, like just copy paste thing. It's it may be very similar, but I write it something very specific to each and every person. Uh, I send something. I know these people. Like I can make it a little, you know, more personalized. Some of these people. Oh yeah, Sean. That's who I was thinking. Bear. I talked to him just the other day, as a matter of fact. I was thinking or I was missing Sean, which I saw him last night over on Legion of Myth, and I have to go over to not tomorrow. This Friday, I got to make an appearance over on his show. It's been way too long since I got to hang out with the.
Rice crispy with banana slices.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
That is a good. That is a surprisingly good combination. It's
mhm.
like everything you could ask for. Now, do you guys like throw a little bit of sugar on it, or just as is?
I mean honeycomb.
Oh, honeycomb. Wow, they still make that.
Honeycomb.
I remember when they changed the recipe, and it was just like really bad. Originally, it was like alphabets, the cereal part of alphabets, and then
Hmm.
they changed it to something that was like a cross between corn pops and something else.
I don't know.
And
I like it. Tastes
I
like honey.
wasn't I wasn't a fan of it.
Mm.
Salted cashews, yeah, I'm a big fan of cashews. Not so much almonds though. Mostly because I heard you're not supposed to eat like more than 10 of them because it's not really good for you. Gotcha, gotcha.
Almonds? No, no. You just don't want to distill them into.
You're right.
You don't want almond extract. I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rice checks or corn checks? I like rice checks. As a matter of fact, Chex Mix was one of my go-to snacks until I realized just how bad it was for me. eating an entire bag at once because I couldn't stop. It's so good.
It's like a Pringle. Pringle that
Yeah,
they come in one serving tins.
yeah, yep. Or like Brian Regan said about Fig Newtons, he eats them by the sleeve, just a whole row. It's another thing I haven't had in forever. I don't think I've had them in Jackie's entire lifetime. It's like
Big
every once
Noons.
in a while, I get
Yeah.
get the hankering for one of those weird off the wall uh, snack foods that like bugles. You remember those?
hmm Now, I got the dollar store off-brand Fig Newtons, right? And I couldn't eat three of them.
Because they're just what?
They tasted great. It's just the fig did exactly what fig does to the bathroom.
Okay, that's weird. I never knew that. Yeah, I
Yeah, fig's
uh,
got something in them that act like a laxative or something. I don't know.
nice. Good to know. Good to know. I've got a mother-in-law who's often having issues, and they're always asking me for like I don't know. I never had that problem before. I don't know. Maybe not eat so many tortillas or something. I don't know. And you would think, with all the beans, it'd be
Mhm.
no. It's just really bad for you. With the almonds, that's just what I heard. I don't remember what it does.
There is a chemical in it that is used to produce a very lethal poison. That being cyanide.
Right, right, right. I also know that don't give them to dogs either because they really shouldn't be eating those. Oh, and dude, you mentioned Munchos. Now I have to have Munchos by the end of the weekend, or I will die. Do you remember
I have
those?
no idea what that is.
It's like if you took a Pringle as is, right, and then threw it and deep fried it. So it's like super airy, but at the same time, it's like razor sharp shards of potato corn crispy awesomeness. I don't know what snack ends are.
Snack 'em.
I didn't snacko. Yeah, snack. He said snack ends. ENZ. Never heard of those.
hmm
I didn't know that about bananas. But mosquitoes have literally never bothered me. And I used to live in Virginia, where they're everywhere. Um, they're allowed to
Okay,
vote apparently,
I,
and
I've seen the package for Munchkins before, but I've never bought them.
yeah, and I don't think my son has ever had them. So I'm a terrible father, but at the same time, uh, I guess I got to buy two bags because I don't even know if I could find those. I can't remember the last time I saw those.
Cheese it.
But they're yeah.
I can't find these snackins anywhere. I googled them. It must be misspelling the name.
Yeah, and for those Jardettos, really okay. I'm gonna have to start writing these down. And I rarely ever write snacks down on my show notes, but uh, uh,
Today's a different.
yeah, why not, right? Although Jardettos, are those pretzels?
mm, oh, there. Let me look.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I just had an idea.
Yeah, yeah. They're uh, pretzels with little cookie bits
Or
and
cheese or stuff like that in them.
uh, it looks like there's like a brownie or something.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find someone willing to send me a crap ton of Canadian snacks that I've never tried. Our
I've never
friend
even seen these, so
our friend Twin, she does a lot of that on her show. I think she's, like I said, in the Philippines, so they have all kinds of things that we're unfamiliar with. But she does sometimes, from what I remember, uh, do some of those snack challenge kind of videos, like Brian from Weird World War II did, where he got a bunch of stuff from Japan. Oh, that was like the best episode he ever did. Him and his wife just eating all kinds of weird, fish flavored crackers and stuff. Um,
mm,
gotcha.
here I will. The
So,
Jordantos.
sorry to hear that off grid. Let me pull this up. What? Sometimes when I do that, it won't. It like
That's what it looks like in the Jordento bag.
okay, so it's very much like Chex Mix.
Yeah, but I can't tell what the brown thing is.
They're rye crisps. They're like rye bread, uh, real hard, crunchy rye bread. As a matter
Okay.
of fact, we get that same stuff in like a big plastic like container, and they're really good. The only thing I don't like them in is when they put the Cheetos in there because it's like the off brand of Cheetos.
Yeah,
And
there's a really thin. Uh,
well, no,
like a,
they seem they look more or less similar, but they something happens because of what they're made out of. They sort of absorb the flavors of other things, and they seem like they're already stale. If you've ever had a stale Cheeto, and it's just like, come on, okay, Melba Rounds pretzel breadsticks, a lot of garlic. Yep, yep, yep. We get them in this big container about this big, and yeah, it's just pure cholesterol as far as I can tell. And I'm trying to cut that stuff out.
mm.
I could do it if we pool for the shipping and cost of snacks. Bet you guys like Miss Vicky spicy dill pickle chips. Heck yeah. I'm down for that. Get a hold of me on Discord or something, and we'll do that.
If you want that stuff, just order it off of Amazon. They'll ship it to you.
Yeah, yeah, but I was thinking of doing the same thing. Like, uh, I'll send some like American stuff, and they can send some Canadian stuff, and we could do it like a simulcast, stream together or something. Just something goofy, less serious. I've noticed, uh, we get a mix of either really serious, hard hitting gamer shows or just complete freaking chaotic live streams. Oh, dude,
Too much milk.
you beat me to the punch. Coffee crisps and ketchup chips. I've heard of those. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, coffee crisp.
hmm Yeah, and I'll bring the boy to join me, and we'll just skip dinner that night, or we'll have Chinese food, and then we'll still be hungry, so it won't matter.
That's the problem. Like, what do you guys have that we would find interesting?
You ever had turtles?
You watched me eat them on Thursday.
Really? Turtles. Okay, that's one of my favorites. So okay, I don't know. Maybe I'll go through um, my grocery store snack aisle with the phone and you know maple wild wings with Garpar sauce drizzled all over them, boneless bites. Okay, no, no, never heard of them. Sounds good. Okay, yeah, you guys have turtles. Um, yeah,
I
those
just
are.
wouldn't think they're made here.
Oh, really? Wouldn't surprise me. I remember one year my dad got me like a box of them as part of a Christmas, what was under the tree. 'Cause he would do that one year. He gave me a 2 pound bag of chocolate chip cookies, and they were gone in like a day. They were so good. They were like Famous Amos. chocolate chip cookies. If you remember those, they're like really hard with walnuts in them.
When I was a kid, my mom worked at Laura Seacourt, which was it was a chocolate company. I think they mostly do boutique chocolates now, but
Mhm.
back then they made things like turtles and um, these orange like ladyfingers. You know what a ladyfinger is? It's like a
I've heard of them. I've never actually
yeah.
seen one or tasted
Um,
one.
but they were like orange flavored.
Are
Uh,
they kind of like Tootsie Rolls almost?
no, it's a long, thin like cookie, but then it's like soaked in chocolate.
Okay.
Uh, you ever get those boxes of chocolate, and then there's like sometimes like the assorted chocolates. You just get them around the holidays, and there's like that one long, thin one.
Hmm.
They're like that, but longer.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, off grid. I've seen Amazon do some stuff like that. Not quite $25 markup, but it depends on. We rarely order anything that's actually $25. So maybe if you're ordering something big, I could see them. Laura Secord was bought out by Americans. How ironic! She should have seen that coming. Shortbread, yeah. Some shortbread cookies are really
yeah,
really good, but some like in the round tins are like just god awful, and we Americans buy those up by like they're going out of style. My favorite ones were either tasted like lemon or orange.
yeah.
Remember those? Now you can't find them anywhere.
No.
And windmill cookies. You guys remember those? They were like
Yeah.
kind of like gingerbread, I want to say, with almonds in them. Hey, what's up, Dean Pal? You know where the link is, guys. If you want to come on in and join us, we are going to eventually get around to the topic. But I was waiting to see if George and or Crafting Gamer or Doc will show up because they're part of this little experiment, and I can always change the title if it just ends up being a free for all. Did we do a free for all for December?
Huh?
Did we do a free for all for December?
I don't think so.
I don't either. So maybe it'll be tonight. I don't know. We usually do that on Thursday, or is it Saturday?
Um, Saturday.
Okay,
We have
okay.
book
Well,
club
maybe
on
maybe tonight we'll end up doing
Thursdays.
that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, yeah, it is usually the second last week of the month, isn't it?
or the last.
But yeah.
And
So let's just do that tonight because I did not check up on the topic of
oh,
what
okay.
it was.
Yeah, I did tell you about it a couple of times, but no worries. I know, right, Dungeon Minister? When I was a little kid, my dad would always get these like off the wall cookies that weren't like Oreos, just like all chocolate kind of things. And I did develop a taste for some odd cookies and snacks that you can't find anymore. And I don't know what happened to C's candies. They used to be in all our shopping malls, but COVID, slammed them and they just completely disappeared. That was just like that was one of the best parts of going to the mall as a teenager because they would give you a free piece of candy. You walk in, oh yeah, let me try one of those, and then you leave. You know,
Yeah.
and they had no problem with it, and it was, had that whole, previous century sort of aesthetic to it, nice and clean, and you had to take a number, even though there's only like three people in the store. You know,
Yeah.
but it had all those really nice aesthetics, and now just I don't even know if they're in business anymore. And
Yeah.
when I was a kid growing up, going to the mall was like something we did probably two or three times a week just to go to the mall and hang out. You know,
Hmm.
uh, hit the food court, look at the girls, maybe talk to girls, but go to the arcade, go to Spencer's,
Spencer's.
the record shops. But that's where the girls were, dude. I mean, you know,
You know what Spencer sells now?
I can only imagine.
Dildos.
I had a feeling they had that was it was weird that they did have that section when I was growing up. They had that weird sort of really adult kind of humorous. Oh, hey, sorry, dude, I did not hear the beep. Get your ass in here, Dungeon Minister. You're free to come in off grid. All you guys, you know where the link is in my Discord. Uh,
Good evening.
Howdy ho, man. How you doing?
Well, I've been sick for most of the day, so that's why I'm awake now, because I slept most of the day.
That's
I was at a Secret Santa event over Discord, and that went really great.
glad to hear it. Hey, what's up, Eldrad?
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's why the girls were there.
so, so they actually have data why the malls
Wow.
aren't. So they actually have data for why the malls aren't as big as they used to. Shadow.
Gun violence.
Sorry,
Also bad.
I'm laughing at Dungeon Minister's last comment. Just
Yeah.
I would have never expected to hear that from
Response
you.
to what I said. That's why the girls were there. Yeah.
That's awesome. What's the deal, though? I don't know. We're just goofing off. We were going to talk about chimeras and uplifted animals to get Justin all riled up and weird genetic creatures that are going to be made in the future. But we decided to blow that off and just talk about, I guess, snacks. I'm going to put that even in. I knew it was you, Eldrad. I totally knew it was you. Welcome to the show, brother.
Speaking of snacks, here is some cookies my mother made. They're great. It's sugar cookies with like coconut in them.
Whoa, what's this? Your mother made? What kind of consumerism is this?
What do you mean?
I'm fucking with you, bro.
Oh no, I didn't hear. What did you say?
I said, what kind of consumerism is this? Your mother made? Where is this store your mother made located?
Oh, gotcha.
There was this strange echo, but I had both channels on. That's what happened. Okay.
Yeah, that'll do it. Xnard, and welcome to the show, Eldrad. Long time no see.
Hello.
Xnard, we used to have gamesmanship in the mall, and mind you, not every mall, but there was this one mall, and it was glorious. They had everything. That's where I got my first BattleTech miniatures, lots of game science dice, all kinds of great stuff, and now I haven't been in a mall in a couple of years. We'll probably go during Jackie's vacation, which technically started today, so he's got 3 weeks off. So hopefully he'll join us. I'm gonna go bug him in a minute and drag him in here just so he'll say hi to you guys. But he's pretty tired from doing nothing all day, so
That is pretty tough doing nothing. I mean, that's,
it kind of is. The shopping malls and weird creatures. That's not such a big leap.
we used to call our mall a Ma because it was so small you couldn't have the last two L's.
Oh, okay. Ours is really nice, although when Sears went out of business, that was kind of a drag for us older folks. But the kids, they still seem to go and hang out there. And my son's been to the mall like 2 or 3 times, and we've lived here 14 years or so. And I'm like, I've been to the mall more than he has. And I rode my bike to the mall. That's how close it is.
Well, back then you weren't going to be stopped by the police either.
Yeah. And then down the street, all the TSR Core ADD rule books could be bought at Toys R Us. I know, right? I got my deities and demigods book from a place called Gemco, which is a thing we used to have. It was like Walmart before Walmart, where you could buy furniture and your groceries at the same place. Clothes, nice toy section, makeup, perfume, it had everything.
Yeah. Our Sears outlet became a Home Depot at the mall.
I was glad to see Sears close. Actually, I got some of their appliances and had their warranties. Their warranties were by far the biggest screw job. So,
really,
yeah, they did me terrible, man. So when they closed, I'm like, good riddance. Even though it was Americana, but oh well.
Yeah, that sucks.
I used to bastards. I mean, anyway.
We never. You know what? Actually, I bought my lawnmower there when we first moved in. Right, I'm still using the same lawnmower almost 15 years later. Never been to the shop, never had anything. Of course, it's like a Briggs and Stratton gas powered mower. It's going to soon be a felony out here in California, I hear. Um, but I would go there either, I think it was either right before or right after Christmas, and go clothes shopping for, like jackets and stuff like that. And always like insane deals on winter coats and things like that. I got not the one I'm wearing, but one similar to the one I'm wearing for like 12 bucks for a really nice like pea coat, really thick wool. 12 bucks. Like
Pico, huh?
They had some great sales when it was closing down. I know that much.
I can't even get a T-shirt for 12 bucks now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not looking at the right place, man. Walmart, as some people say around here, we got them for like $4.90 something with logos like the Misfits and neat stuff like that. I didn't buy one because I'm too cheap. I have enough shirts, but
Well, the only T-shirts I buy are game related for the most part. Something like, especially during the summertime when I'm doing a show, it's showing my gamer heritage, my nerd, cred, whatever they call it.
for real though, for real though. Know what I'm saying? For real.
I'm actually
But
gonna this upcoming summer, right? Well, before the summer, I'm gonna pick up like things like Thundercats, Thunder the Barbarian, all the great cartoon T-shirts. Just because I think that's ridiculous and incredibly immature.
Somewhere around here, I have a Thundercats belt buckle.
Nice.
What'd you think of the new Masters of the Universe with Kevin Smith? What'd you think of his?
I never watched Masters of the
Yeah.
Universe except the
Oh.
movie with Dolph Lundgren, so I was never really a big fan of He-Man. And to me, it was a little just
Gay?
yeah.
Shut up. Skeletor was awesome.
The Skeletor was awesome, but you got to remember, for me personally, at that time, I wasn't really watching TV or going to the movies and stuff. I was getting in trouble with my friends, so I there was like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I never watched those cartoons because it was like the same era, and I was out, doing what my friends, my neighborhood kids were doing, which is
You
riding
gotta
our
remember, Shadow was in the 700,000s when those cartoons came out.
right. Armall had a movie. Yeah, I did see a lot of movies at the theater. I think one of my favorite movies I saw on my own with my buddy Ricky when I was whatever age that it came out was Future World with Peter Fonda. I dug that movie.
Future World.
Yeah, it was the sequel to Westworld.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm for shame.
It was it was a product of its time, but
Shame.
it was, and I also saw with it, I think, Kingdom of the Ants.
Kingdom of the Ants. Okay.
How old are you, Shadow?
I'll be 58 in April.
Okay,
5
you're a
zeros
bit
at
older
the end of
than
that. Don't
Okay.
listen to him.
5,800 years old. I'm a Susanna.
Something like that.
58.
Your
You
wife
elected-
gave you.
Oh, go ahead.
I was reading some of the chat. I mean, you guys can see it,
Yeah.
but
My TV.
was it
My t-shirt.
I thought was it from the comic book or the TV show, or because I was also thinking what was Al Bundy? No, it was No Ma'am. That's what it was.
No man.
Yeah.
No man.
I love Mad Magazine. I was so bummed this last year when I heard they went out of business, even though I hadn't picked one up in 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that is an issue, how should we say, the last 10 years, that everything we had known before it always would be there, except for Microsoft, has gone away.
Someone is they just finished a Kickstarter to bring back heavy metal though.
The magazine?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I might have to check that out. I don't own a single heavy metal magazine, but I remember reading them as a kid. We had a liquor store, a couple of them actually nearby, and they'd have the magazine rack. and I would read Heavy Metal magazine, but I would buy Vampirella.
Yeah, the cartoon they made, or the movie, whatever you're gonna call it, it was weird, but it was a way. I was along the ride, the whole ride.
Yep, it
Yeah,
was good.
the first one.
The first one, yeah, I got to get Jackie to see that one as well. And yeah, that was a nice gig for your
I mean,
mom.
one thing you can say,
Alfred.
like I know, like the point is like it's that this corruption goes through all eras and so forth, but
Mhm.
how to like almost cut to each story like pretty quickly, all things considered. When the story can continue, it's a little weird, but you are are on the ride all the way along.
Yeah.
Really off
Oh.
grid. Foxes are weird. Foxes are weird. But I've never. I don't. I might have seen one at a zoo, but they're not indigenous to where I live. We do have squirrels and wild rabbits, coyotes, roadrunners,
Yeah,
lizards, stuff like
foxes
that.
are like a fine animals as long as you don't have chickens or other small animals that you
Game
don't want to get
animals.
eaten.
Yeah, you have to keep them caged because if not, the foxes and the coyotes will get them. Because I'm in the woods, so
Yeah.
we got all kinds of wildlife. Got a bear. I've never seen the bear. I've only seen its piles, but somewhere there is one. They say they're more afraid of us than we are of them, but I think I'm more afraid. But because when I
That's
saw it,
the
I haven't been in
bears,
that
like
section. Haven't
black
been in that section of
bears,
the
like
woods. Yeah.
Well, it depends. I think it depends on
Again,
what kind of bear, isn't it? Isn't it
just
yeah,
like
the
yeah,
black
black?
like
bear.
if I
Yeah.
remember correctly, black bears you play dead. Brown bears / grizzlies you fight back. Polar bears you die or you shoot them first.
Right. Right.
Well, black bears run away from humans normally. They don't. You will never see them. You'll just see evidence of them, is what I've been told. I might find the stupid one knowing my luck, but
Well, what kind of bear was it that Grizzly Adams hung out with? Anybody remember? Was it a
that
black
was
bear?
a grizzly bear. Hence the name Grizzly Adams. So
Okay, it
it was
was
it was a yeah it was
because
a
I remember
grizzly,
the
a
TV
Kodiak one.
show, and I could have swore he was a black bear, and I'm like, maybe that's just what they had to do because they could get the black bear to work with the human, whereas a real grizzly would just eat the actor.
Yeah. Yeah,
You can train them.
We could train anything with enough voltage.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's exactly how you train them.
Uh huh.
But yeah, if I remember correctly, like bears are fine as long as you don't encounter them in winter.
Or
Usually.
with their young.
Oh yeah. Kind of reminds me, like I saw like a video like where people try like to scare away like a black bear. And it just turned out no, it's just with its wrongs. It wants you to go away. It don't actually want to attack you.
Mm.
What about
Sorry, I fell into a rabbit
Bigfoot?
hole.
I'm sorry.
about
What
math.
about Bigfoot? Anybody seen Bigfoot lately? Or
It was
don't
eaten
believe
by cats at Raven's house.
I don't believe Bigfoot is. Let me sum it up real quick. There might be something out there that's big and bear or ape like, but it's just another animal. It doesn't have any of the magical properties or powers that
It
so many
responds to the
people.
name Frank. Uh,
Um,
he will have a nice conversation with you for a bucket of chicken wings. Sometimes he takes his fur coat off and goes to Hooters.
that's good to know. Off grid. Uh, don't give the bears any of your beers.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
a
drink,
good.
but
I mean, not even Russians do that, and I know like they're more vodka, but they don't usually make the beers drinking.
and believe it or not, I actually where we live in the desert. When I was taking my son to school, and we had to walk through this desert, this big part of the desert to get to his school. There was a trail that we would walk our bikes along, and I was teaching him to identify the animal tracks because we would get dogs and coyotes and roadrunners and rabbits and like I said squirrels and it was a fun little game we would play, while walking because there was this real nice sandy part where you could see the footprints, the tracks and things like that. I miss those days. Now he's all grown up, and you know, he went to that very place yesterday without me because he got out of school early. He's like, "Well, I'm gonna go," which for his mom is like crazy. Like he can't be out doing things like that by himself. And I'm like, are you kidding? I was doing that at like 5. We could do that sort of stuff, and the fact that he wanted to go just ride out in the desert, and
Yeah, that
just
is one of those moments where like you should just be happy that I'm not setting out with knife to kill a bear before he gets home again.
or that he's in front of the computer for more
Yeah.
mindless hours. Mind you, he's taking coding classes and stuff like that. But still, the fact that he just wanted to do that just to go reminisce and you know be out there was awesome.
You should give him, if he's taking coding classes, you should give him an English to Indian dictionary.
Uh-huh.
He'll need
What
it.
kind of Indian?
Oh, you meant berries. I thought the bears that's what they ate was nuts and berries and picnic baskets. No,
And honey.
So I have a
Mhm.
question that relates to the main topic of man-made monsters.
Okay.
What are your guys' opinion of the panda bear? Do you think it's an early genetic experiment and they're just keeping them in zoos to recuperate money?
I never really thought about it. I don't know that much about them other than they don't like being captive, and to the point where they won't even make more panda bears
And they're
in
eating food
protest.
they're maladjusted for. Um, Ancient art is hard to find of them. The Zodiac has 2 alleged fantastic creatures, but no polar bear. No, sorry, no panda bears. There's a few odd things with them. And my own personal theory is like, it's an early genetic experiment. Know just like when they manipulate them in the womb, and now they're trying to recuperate cost by like saying, "Hey, see this endangered animal we have? Give us money."
Hmm.
And whereas it's a chimera that can't reproduce itself.
Uh,
Maybe
Put the mescaline down and step back.
What is what?
Mexican, you lucky bastards. We don't have that down here in the swamps.
What about Mexicans?
Oh, we have a
Or
bunch of
Mexicans.
we have a
Yeah,
bunch of
we put
Mexicans
this
around
one
here.
You
down.
put
told
down
me
the
to put a
Mexican.
Mexican
Put down
down.
the Mexican.
Yeah, if you have Mexicans though, you just have them. Hey man, can you cook some authentic taqueria food? And then you're best friends because they could cook really good if it's the real stuff.
Yeah, you gotta get the real Mexicans, not the fake Mexicans from China.
Yeah.
You ask them for a taqueria, and they'll give you a spring roll.
What the hell? You got ground meat in it, bastard. No, but anyway.
I could go for some spring rolls right now.
Yeah, that'd be good.
There's
Thai
ground
spring
pork
rolls.
in a spring roll. Don't
Yeah.
let them fucking lie to you. There's ground pork in a spring roll.
Or raccoon. But anyway, it's a very common meat. Or possum.
We never used
It's greasy.
raccoon at the factory I worked at, so
I don't know that there's any meat in the ones I usually get.
it's in there. Trust me.
Okay.
What is
Yeah,
this?
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's covered up by the Brussels sprouts.
And the hair.
That's weird. I can't find like the what are they the wonton wrappers or whatever
Yeah.
that they're made out of. I used to be able to get those just individually, not individually, but get like a pack of them.
A pack
Just
like
look-
400 of them. Yeah.
Right, and I haven't seen those in. I can't even remember how long it's been.
You don't have no Asian markets in Cali?
No, we don't. Well, we might.
Oh, you
You
gotta
have a
find them,
fuck
man.
ton of Asian markets in California. Just not.
Well,
having
where I
where
live,
you are.
where I live, it's very rural, and it's very. There's more Mexican shops than that.
You
than
probably
Asian
need to
stuff.
go up into the mountains.
No, he is in the mountains.
Oh yeah,
That's the
high
problem.
desert.
Oh, I thought the mountains were in the north.
He needs to go to the coast.
Yeah, that's.
Ain't y'all about to have an earthquake over there in California? Is what they're saying.
Yeah, we had a 7.3, but that was hundreds of miles from where I live. Even though I do live on the San Andreas fault line, like literally on it, I can see it when I walk outside. Um, but the property was cheap, so we grabbed it, and we've been lucky. Uh, I think we had one earthquake here, knock on wood, since I've lived here, and
You haven't heard that Tool song, Enema? Man, you haven't heard that? I mean, that's
no,
that. Yeah.
no, I
No,
almost
same people don't listen to Tool.
we don't have good, like where I live. Well, even most of the state for the last 25 years, there aren't any. Thanks off grid. Rumble, rumble, rumble. We don't have any decent radio stations anymore. It's all rap
Classic
or
rock.
or no. There's none of that.
Ah,
We had one when we first moved out here, and it quickly changed to something. It was really hard to tune in, and I can't remember the last time I've heard like driving, traffic. Sometimes you can hear other people's radio stations. There were anything other than rap, and I do not like rap music at all.
yeah.
Chicken balls and cherry sauce, honey lemon chicken, ginger chicken,
Oh,
vegetable fried rice. I'm more of a fan of orange chicken, and that's only because they stopped making sweet and sour chicken at every Chinese restaurant I've been to in the last 25 years with the plum sauce and pineapple and onions and carrots. I
yeah,
think I haven't seen it,
green pepper.
Man,
and I don't know why, but orange chicken is like everywhere. Everybody,
some
Yeah.
Asian plum wine would be really good right now. You ever had that stuff? It's a screw
No.
cap, but it's pretty expensive. But it's some good stuff if you chill it right.
really.
Yeah, Asian plum wine. I don't know if it's Chinese or Japanese, but
Japanese.
it is off the hook.
Hey, what's up, Bo? You want to pop in? We're just goofing off. We're actually not doing the topic because it's the end of the month and somebody didn't do their homework, and two
I could have winged it.
and two
I
kids are
usually
late
do.
for class. So we're just, it's the holidays. It would be the first time I've had to change the title of the show.
So, Shadow. Speaking of the fault line, the San Andreas fault line, that reminds me of a stealth pun a GM once did. He had a Saint Andrew in his game who could cause earthquakes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, earthquakes are one of those things you rarely hear about in a dungeon, but when you do, it's like almost always, or at least my experience, it's always the DM's way of saying, "All right, time to leave the dungeon." You guys
Great
ever
idea,
experience that?
though.
Like you did something, and now, like off grid said, "Rumble, rumble, rumble." Up, I guess we better get out of here. I just
Yeah.
kind of, it's kind of a little cheesy to me.
I had an earthquake situation that was a bit different, and that was not the player's fault. It was a game that took where several games took place in the same campaign world. Some players the previous week had crashed like a huge ass ship, like container-sized ship,
Mhm.
which that technically caused an earthquake when that crashes into the ground, even if it's just one shake. And
Right.
that was the players in the dungeon felt.
Um. Speaking about our game, Shadow. Off grid. Next session is going to be mostly a record keeping session. When we go around to select the loot that we gathered, I want you to do me a big favor and pick the faux sonic disruptor.
What?
It's a cursed magic item. It's not even a
Shut
magic.
up! Fuck! Stop telling them that it's cursed.
Well, it's not cursed per se. I mean, it's kind of cursed, but it's a technological gadget. Um, it's a weapon, and it does horrific damage, but it's got a pretty gnarly side effect. Um, and I've never heard of Weaverville, California. I'll look. I'll put it in my show notes next to the snacks.
Snacks. So, bro, I I want you to select the faux sonic disruptor, or talk Raven into it. One or the
I
other.
thought you guys were going to talk the paladin into taking it.
Oh yeah. Fuck that. Off grid. Do not take the faux sonic disruptor. Talk the paladin into taking the faux sonic disruptor.
How are you? My dog has been acting weird all day because I think he thinks he's getting a you know what,
No,
and I don't want to give him a you know what. I want to give him a haircut.
better yet, tell the paladin that the Ring of the Demons allows you to kill demons when you put it on with ease.
What ring of the demons? You guys didn't find that?
Shut up. We found the Ring of the
This,
Demons. We absolutely did.
this is some AD&D, isn't it? Right here, you're talking about.
It's actually Arduin,
Arduin.
which was a
Oh,
supplement for white box AD&D stuff that I use.
the original Arduin, the
Oh
old
yeah.
Lucky. I
That's
got
David. And what does
PDFs.
this ring do?
Off grid, the
Uh,
faux sonic disruptor isn't a magic item. She would just see the item. She wouldn't be able to tell what it is.
And Eldrad, if all you're doing is if all you can get a hold of is PDFs, hit me up on Discord because I work for the people who still make Arduin, so maybe I can get you a discount or something, or at
Yeah, I've
least
got two of the books that were released, I believe, in the '90s.
okay.
It's a player's handbook, and it's like their soft cover.
The
Been having
complete
those.
Arduin book one.
It's two books. It was probably
Yeah,
released in the '90s. You got that?
oh,
Show it on screen. I know I don't have it near me, but
yeah. Is it this one?
yeah, that's it. That's the ones
Okay.
I got. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the book one is the rules, and book two, which I don't have, because it's just reprints and rewritten stuff from other Arduin books. But
Uh,
oh wow,
yeah. Weaverville is located at the junction of Highway 299 and 3.
okay, way off the beaten path for us.
Yeah. Are you anywhere near Eureka?
We're not far. We're not far.
I'm gonna take to this. I live there.
No. I live like on the edge of Palmdale and Lancaster and Santa Clarita. We're not far from what used to be Lake Elizabeth, which was a lake that the natives here said had a like a firebird or something like that that would come up out of the lake from time to time. And a couple of years back, we had a drought. It just turned into a salt flat and has not come back and turned back into a lake since. And it's not very big, but it is weird. And I live pretty close to uh, God. I always forget his full name. Uh, uh, the guy from Full Metal Jacket, the drill sergeant, the actor.
Yeah.
We have a street named after him, just right down the road, and I can't help think that he must have grew up something like that. Off grid, Phoenix, pterodactyl.
Need to have water pipelines. That would kind of solve the problem. We have so much rain over here. We could send it to you. We could fill your oceans back if they did
Well,
that.
the problem with the droughts in California and
Arizona.
Arizona is not that water isn't pumped down. It's that there's a water trade treaty with Mexico that is not enforced, and the Mexicans pull the water out of the reserve pile and don't put into it. That's why they've been having such a agricultural boom in the last 3 decades or so. Because water is actually shipped down from like the Dakotas through aqueducts and shit like that. But
Yeah, we've got a two man-made rivers out here, and I haven't seen water in them. One of them
Well,
kind of, but it's really small.
they're supposed to be full because they're reserve pipelines for that, but
Part of the desert area that I was talking about that Jackie and I would travel through is literally part of the LA River. That's it, we've seen it. It's been a river once. And that's because we got torrential rains one day, and it flooded out of the riverbed and onto the streets. But that was like once in 15 years that it's actually been a river, which I'm a little selfish in the fact that I like that there's no water there, because then we would have to have gone completely the longest way possible around Jackie's school to get to school. And one of the other things we started doing going through there was collecting rocks, like really cool looking quartz and things like that, which we have way too many now. Just piles of rocks in my backyard, all over the place that we picked up. There would be times we'd come home from school and his backpack would just be like 20, 30 pounds of rocks. Just
Okay, I think I'm gonna head to bed. You guys have a good one.
take care, Dean. And if I don't see you
already on, Dean.
by Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Ditto.
That's it.
Goodbye.
Thanks for stopping by. You're always welcome, brother.
It's been an hour.
Yeah.
An exciting hour that I haven't been completely part of, but hey.
No worries, Eldrad. So what have you been working on lately?
Just working on a module for Back to the Dungeon role-playing game. Just working on that blasphemy. Thinking about taking the game and going with an all hand-drawn art version,
Okay.
with my crappy art. But because some people said, we're so against your AI art. I've been cussed at and called
Ignore
a
them.
blasphemer, and all kinds of other stuff, but for using AI art. But I'm like, hey, I didn't have a budget. I wasn't like giving the damn rules away for free. All the AI art is free as well, but some people just get affected. I don't know. I mean,
They weren't going to buy it to begin with, so ignore them.
yeah, they probably weren't. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, because my game is offensive into in politically incorrect and all that. Because I don't know about you, but back in the day when we had colonialism and stuff in our role playing games, I went out and colonized a few small nations. I don't know if you realize that a lot of the original writers of the game colonized small countries.
This motherfucker over here will not let me colonize Caliban.
Hey, you let him colonize stuff.
Yeah.
Not the first time around. You guys are.
I want to colonize Caliban.
I applaud you. That is one of the more original ideas I've heard in the last decade when it came to any games I've run or been in. So it's a possibility.
Yeah,
My-
I don't believe you. You don't.
You
You
know,
won't let me colonize Caliban.
Hold on a second.
It's just one evil tower. Just fucking get rid of the Lich King or whatever's in charge of it. Ooh, this guy's like, you can't do that. You gotta leave now. You gotta go find the dwarves or some shit. I'm like, no, I want to take the evil tower. I want to do interdimensional shit. Build my kingdom here. It's because the dwarves. But what about the dwarves?
Bravo, man.
Also, I want
what,
someone to put on the post-sonic disruptor.
I tell you what, I got two options. You get more players on board with that, or when we get to an appropriate point, I'll let you solo it if nobody else wants to go. But if you get people on board, then even better.
Yeah, we just need to kill one stupid fucking paladin.
uh,
Hey,
everywhere
Offgrid,
we go.
are you on board with my plans to become the Emperor of Caliban? I'll make
Well,
you
I
my
don't know that
first
I'd call
general,
it
the
emperor.
legion of my invading armies.
Maybe Duke or King of Caliban, but I can't.
Shut up, Supreme Emperor. You think I'm not going to have the vassal kingdoms after I become Emperor of Caliban?
Well, that would be weird because it is a Flying Dutchman of dungeons, so it goes from place to place. How do you do that? I mean,
That's how I enforce my control over other kingdoms. Is they never know when I'm showing the fuck up.
and Off Grid's giving you a hard time in the chat. That's why you can't have it.
What? I want to bring order and peace to the world. No more evil lich queens and shit like that. No rogue
Everybody's
dwarf
everybody's got to have a goal, hobby.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I think you should do it.
Yeah. Even this guy says we should do it.
Liches are not that powerful. Liches are like easy to take out.
Yeah.
You can do it?
I killed at least one.
It ain't bragging if you can do it. That's what I can say, man. It's not bragging if you can do it. If you can do it, then make it happen, man. Give that bitch and make him into a bitch, okay? That's what you can do that.
I will most definitely give you your own kingdom, bro. As long as you pay your tributes on time, I'll be happy.
Like tribute?
Nice. Nice.
It'll be a big kingdom. The entire ocean world we're currently on, if you want. Or some other world with like land and shit.
What level are you?
Oh, level 6.
Yeah, go make sure and film the episode where his level 6 self goes after that lich. I want to see that.
Yeah, right.
Hello, my name is Vecna. I'm here for you. Here's my
Hey! I bitch smacked a lich in the last level and walked away from it. Not even a point.
It
of
wasn't
damage.
a lich; it was a specter.
No. The guy on the balcony.
Oh, yeah. You kind of did.
I bitch smacked that motherfucker.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you did have an artifact at your disposal, so there was that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the level drainers from back in the, how the old school and such and the ancient gaming did. The level drainers were terrifying. I mean, my God, whenever you'd have some badass fighters and, 5th or 6th level, you're starting to get that swing, and then suddenly just one little freaking, wraith or something comes out. Everybody's crapping on their pants, man.
Welcome to the show, Crafting. Sorry, I didn't see you come in, and
It's okay.
Downstairs.
I'm in an army mood tonight. I got to see Bruce use a couple. That's the main reason I'm late. I wanted to watch Bruce use a couple of miniatures I sent him against the high level party.
Awesome.
Including a treasure golem.
God, I want one of those miniatures so bad. I as soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, that's so me. That is so me.
Uh-huh.
You see a pile of treasure and then it stands up. Oh God, it's just
so the reason why my character is able to bitch smack a lich is because I came across a couple items that are Arduin items that are just a little too powerful.
And that includes Shadow's next DVD series.
Yeah, that does. But I will not be part of that because I do not perform gay sex, Shadow.
Hey, you're the one that's blowing the dragon throat horn.
I do have an item called...
Someone's ornery tonight.
The dragon's throat, which allows me to throw the breath of a dragon.
A random dragon. Every time.
Random dragon.
It can work 3 times a day, and every time you blow it, it breathes forth one dragon breath of ancient, variety and ancient dragon.
That would not. What level are you guys?
I'm level 6, bro. Yeah.
Even
And-
I can be well compared to Bruce. I am a stingy motherfucker, but I can feel like I'm generous with my loot, and that would not be something that would come into at least. You better be able to take out an ancient dragon before you could blow that horn.
Well,
I put an ancient dragon to sleep with it.
and then they ran.
Of course.
Yeah.
There's a fucking dragon made out of fire and shit.
Yeah, this is actually an 8th level Arduin module called Caliban. I highly recommend you find a PDF or go over to Emperor's Choice and grab it. It's not expensive. As a matter of fact, for like $20, you can get the 4 module series that includes Caliban and a free extra module. It's really worth it. I thought the players were going to get like worked, but they went in instead of with like your 6 to 8 party members, they went in with like a dozen or more, and they ended up by the time they were done with 24 party members because they recruited everybody they could in the dungeon.
Yeah. Every time there was somebody that
Including a dragon.
That immediately brings up an anime. I never watched it, but I see advertisements for it. Is it wrong to pick up a girl in a dungeon?
I did.
Yeah.
In this case, it's referring to the fact the guy has picked up a goddess, because I've seen a few not episodes, but a few thick clips. A goddess, a crazy bitch, and potentially a demon.
Yeah, they befriended a yellow dragon, as Off-Grid says, that breathes nerve gas.
Yeah. Okay.
What anime is that, by the way? Just
it's called Is it wrong to pick up a girl in a dungeon? Is it wrong to date a girl from a dungeon? I think Is it wrong to pick up a girl in a dungeon?
Something like that.
okay.
Google it. You'll
Yeah,
get
something
the
like
right title. But I combine that horn with a ring of invisibility, which has no limit, and I can attack while wearing it. So greater.
Yeah, it's a ring of improved invisibility,
Improved invisibility,
which is also a pretty sick magic item.
and a ring that allows me to run really fast.
Yeah, 10 times normal speed,
10 times normal speed.
which is also pretty OP. But yeah, this is
So basically, the next time they come across a dragon, he can go invisible, run to the other side of the battlefield, and blow the horn up his ass.
yes.
And then run away. And while it's trying to figure out what the hell's going on, I can blow
Where
it
the
again.
where the hell that dragon breath enema just came from?
Right. Well, I mean, if it's like sleep gas
Into the
or
slave girl.
or something that's not all that, because you never know what you're going to get when you blow it. Now, the horn does have one little side effect that Justin neglected to mention.
Yeah. Every dragon in a 5-mile radius is like,
attracted
what the
by that
fuck?
horn.
I want to go to that.
Yeah. So every dragon nearby hears them blow the horn, and
Well, there's an easy explanation for that. What dragon wouldn't want the opportunity to blow other breath weapons? I love dragons. I love throwing in dragons. I love making good dragons, but even my good dragons are a little power hungry.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why they collect hordes and things like that.
Yeah. And in the dungeon that they were in, there was what was called a hell dragon or a sun dragon.
Ugh, that sounds
It's literally
bad.
made out of a sun.
Yeah.
That's the one he put to sleep. Then there was a 3-headed red and black dragon. And then there was a steel dragon. And all 3 started converging on the party as they finally found the portal out of the dungeon, but had to fight an avatar of a minor avatar of I don't want to give it away, but basically a big giant green spider made out of green fire. And they, with the help of the dragon and the freaking 20 characters and NPCs, etc., managed to escape the dungeon just at the nick of time, because had all 3 dragons converged on them, even though they had a dragon of their own, that dragon had been hit with an item called a javelin of devastation. And to harken back to what Eldrad was talking about, these javelins, when you throw them and they hit the target, they drain 6 levels off whatever gets hit.
Ouch.
Right, and the yellow dragon had been hit square in the chest with one of them. So he was, he was an ancient dragon, but now he's like 6 levels or 6 hit dice weaker. So he did his best to help the party out, but he was no way near on par with a sun or hell dragon or a 3-headed black and red dragon or a steel dragon. So they skedaddled and got the heck out of Dodge. And don't worry, off grid, you and your wife are reunited on the ship, and you guys are sailing to the Empire of the Dwarves. And tomorrow night we'll take care of all that stuff, and it'll be a good time for everybody. I hope, because it being Christmas time. I've done something every year. I've been on YouTube, and I'll make that video. Oh gosh, I got to make that video like Monday or Tuesday. If you watch the video and you hit me up with a comment, I will give one of your characters a magic item. I don't care what character. I don't care what your DMs say. You can say, "Hey, I was in Shadow's game for 5 minutes, and he gave me this magic item."
Yeah, no, I would not accept that as a DM.
It's just come on.
It's like if you want to bring a character from another game, I get to read that character before I say yes.
I know. I used to run games at a game shop, and I had to do the same thing. I had a pretty easy rule. You could bring in one magic item per level, and I still have to approve them. So, you weren't gonna. I'd seen people with sheets of magic items. I had this one kid who had the Lochnar on his freaking character sheet. He was like 10 years old, and I'm like,
how are you not corrupted?
But I've seen it all, and it's just funny because like Armstrong, I forgot what I gave him last year.
That's my luck knob.
Right? We need to make that as a shirt. Oh my god! I don't know what scene. Maybe it'll have to be the scene where the weird effeminate king or whatever.
Oh yeah. That'll be simple. We put Shadow's head on the effeminate king's head, and just have the queen as a regular, and then we have them fighting that over the Glocknar.
As long as my hair is flowing, man.
We don't even have to change the picture on it. It's already got Shadow's head on
it. Dude, I outweigh that guy by at least 100 pounds.
Well, I guess we know what Shadow did in his youth.
Right. I was the temporary owner of the Lochnar.
And was a bitch.
yeah. There's no way I'm going to do something like that until you're like 10th level, and then I'll do the Conan thing, and your wife will get abducted by a demon, and you have to go rescue her, because that's always fun. Where are you at? We at 38F, but it's been in the 60s. Right now it's about 45 degrees. It was nice and warm today. I was actually kind of sweating, running around doing some shopping and stuff. But back to the life draining thing. I don't usually throw life drainers at parties until they've got some levels to lose, because then there have been dungeons out there where one white in like a first level game where if you even get hit once, you're just, not only are you toast, but you're now a monster to fight your own buddies. I roughly 5th, 6th level, I'll start maybe throwing in those one level drainers, but they were fighting I think a white or the Spectre Mage. If he had touched them, it would have been 2 levels, and vampires are 2 levels, and they did run into a vampire. They just didn't realize it, or maybe they did, but it didn't stand much chance against 24 characters. The guy with the mirror robe, Justin.
Yeah.
And
hey, tell me this, on a party that size and in NPCs and stuff, how are you doing initiative in your game? Very curious on that one.
Well, because it's Discord, I roll a party initiative and the enemy initiative, and whoever goes first. And then I don't do individual initiative because I've got 7 players on Discord. It's just I just literally like wherever you're seated, wherever your screen is, I'll like start with someone and then go clockwise or counterclockwise and rotate it from time to time and let the magic users, if they're going to cast like a 1, 2, or 3 segment spell, let the players know, hey, I'm going to launch a fireball, so you might want to not run in the room, kind of thing, and then go from there. It's for me, individual initiatives bug the crap out of me. You guys should be fighting as a team, and not like trying to put so much emphasis on trying to be the first.
That that's where I personally have always believed where a little bit of I don't like it too much, but in this instance I don't mind what's it called
Competition.
no when players are talking to each other instead of characters
Metagaming.
metagaming, thank you. This is where I don't mind metagaming, because this is where you, instead of just we can all choose our strategy by saying who goes first, we have to work out who's going first and then how that will affect who goes next and then how we're going to work. I love players strategizing when they having to strategize how they're going to work out their next moves.
Yeah.
Of course, I've never had a group this big either. Like the biggest group I've ever had was 6.
Right, and they would do that. They're seasoned adventurers. They know that they want to get their missile weapons fired first, to maybe weaken anything that the melee fighters are going to go in against. And if there's a wizard or some kind of spellcaster, let him do his job. If he's got something that will, like, perfect example, the first game Cal Vanoni joined us in, he's playing a druid, and he cleared 3 rooms for the party by himself practically. Rock to mud on a construct that, suddenly it's all, you can't get out of the mud. So the players just, made short work of that. And he used a heat metal spell on a slime that was trying to get out of a metal. It was a slime that was in a chest made out of metal. So he heat metaled the chest so that the creature that was susceptible to heat would either take damage for sitting in the chest and not attacking, or it would slowly kill itself by trying to leave the chest. And then the third thing he did was a wall of fire in a room that was filled with carnivorous plants. They couldn't move, but they had long vines that would like stab you, and he just ring of fire to them, and they just waited for them to burn down, and done deal.
Yeah. To what Offgrid just said, I don't mind a bit of meta as long as it's to a minimum, right? Like when it's really important, but
yeah, when you're just it's like Crafting said, when it's a party working together like a well-oiled machine, that's where you should see it, because we're not adventurers, as much as we would like to be or whatever. We don't live in that kind of a world where it's do or die. It's like Offgrid said, Cal was hardcore in the clinch. Trust him at your back, and you guys just met him, and he's like coming through like a champ. Mind you, this party was like 99% fighters. Let's say 90% fighters, 1% thieves and magic users in the party. Everybody just wants to run in and go into combat. Well, one well placed spell made sure that nobody died, from any of these monsters. That had the fighters rushed in each of those times, someone would have probably died from any one of those 3 encounters because of the damage I was going to deal out. But they said, you know what, let's fight smart and use what little we have, because Cal was only like a 5th or 6th level druid. He had a scroll though with rock to mud, and he, happily, said, rock to mud. Okay, all right, now let's see your.
Well, based off with the golem, depending on like if the golem was automatically attacking, like if they are outside of combat, okay, he can go first all he wants. Same with the other 2 instances. That's definitely out of combat spells. But when in combat, I prefer the players to have to strategize around what the dice say they're going to be doing.
Okay, real quick.
Not just
This is what the
automatically play their
construct
best
look
combo
like.
right off the bat.
Crafting. This
Ah.
is the construct. It's a
Jeez
wheel
with tentacle arms
and eyes.
and eyes.
Those are eyes on the side.
Absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Hey, this is an Arduin creature called a war
And
wheel. I love it.
That's a construct, though.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Those
How
eyes
big is
more.
that?
Those. Sorry, I gotta let you answer the big question.
How big is it? How big? What's
Like
the size of that?
it's about it's to scale. So here, let me get. I've got here. I've got a miniature of Tenkar from Tenkar's Tavern, right here.
Oh,
Uh,
jeez.
middle of the camera.
There you go.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a construct so much as that looks like a outer planar being, thanks to the way the
Yeah.
eyes and tentacles are.
I don't know what it is. It doesn't really say, but their Arduin Emperor's Choice are actually. I have another one of these that I made. They're going to turn it into a miniature, so you guys can actually get one of these for your gaming table. And these spikes are literally spikes from leather jackets, type of heavy metal spikes.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Well, they could be used for all kinds of things. Like
Right.
you'd be amazed how many people have them outside of leatherworking.
I'm not even going to touch that, but yeah,
Wait, y'all don't have spikes on all your clothes? Wait, what? No.
Yeah, man. I should
so-
pick up a bunch and put them on my Christmas hat.
Oh, I gotta
that would be cool as hell.
get some spikes for my leather jacket.
I got to get a leather jacket.
I was working at a
Yeah.
thrift store, and the right size just happened to come in one day. I was like, mine.
Yeah,
I have
I
one.
had one, and so a friend of my mom's really wanted to buy it for his son. I'm like, you could just get one anywhere. He's like, no, he was handicapped and he couldn't get around, and he wanted to buy it for his son. And I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I sold it to him for like twice what it would have cost anybody to get it. And I just never replaced it because I don't ride a motorcycle, and it just seemed kind of like someone else had bought it for me years ago, and I'm like, yeah, sure, $200
I have
bucks.
I have a leather trench.
Yeah, I've been eyeballing a nice leather trench,
Yeah,
but
but,
maybe
I need to reline it. The lining is shot. Maybe
Just buy liner in a can.
I always got my trenches from Army surplus. They had the black trench coats.
Yeah, I've got an army, a World War II Swiss Army trench coat that I wear every once in a while. But my son has sort of adopted it. I bought it like $10, like still in the original wrapper from the Outdoorsman catalog, and
cheap.
it's super warm, solid wool. The only problem is it has no inside pockets.
Yeah, back in the 80s, I think it was $13 on average for a completely brand new trench coat. But that old trench coat,
Yeah.
I actually found it, and I'm not 135 pounds anymore, so it didn't fit. But,
Yeah, off grid. Those environmental spells like the heat metal or the airy water. That was so freaking awesome when you guys were underwater using the airy water spell against those. It's a kill.
Now, that's an example of excessive planning. When we've all come across a plan, and then the one person in the group has to reiterate it 8 more times, even though we have already heard it.
Yeah,
Fucking Oma now.
yeah. Well, Omen's from the school of the overly cautious, from playing BX. Where hey, what's up, Felix? Long time no see, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Where,
I put a shirt in the chat there. It's not the hands one, but it's got a white on it, and the word power written underneath.
and that's off grid. If you could pull that off, that will be awesome.
I thought
Especially
that was funny.
especially like on the ship. I can totally picture you. If like say the ship gets boarded and you grab somebody and then just levitate and then just drop them into the drink. Because at like you said, like 100 feet up, that's 10d6 damage hitting the water there's not going to be much but a little jello floating on the surface of the ocean if you do that.
I will have to. I will have
So-
to put that one because our good friend.
Actually, if
that
you
showed up-
watched MythBusters, bone damage is more significant under the circumstances than flesh damage.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
But back to initiative, Dragon Slayer has a pretty interesting way of doing it. Party wins the initiative. They do the marching order, and that's like so the people up front get to attack first. Pretty cool deal. We do have some arguments on the logistics of it because I was trying to plan it out, and they were like, "You're moving initiative." I'm not moving initiatives. I'm trying to strategize to let the people with the arrows hit stuff first
Mhm.
before my strength 18 fighter kills everything. But if he can hit,
Well, to me, the way I look at it is players, or excuse me, the characters would strategize.
Can you take that off that scene? I am not being in any of your fucking movies.
Felix, I think you won the chat for the evening. Just saying. I want to screenshot that. Uh, I think that the player characters would strategize all the damn time, and we don't, take as much time to role play a lot of those moments, because they would just eat up the little bit of time that we have once a week. So I'm okay with letting them kind of get do a little bit of that, sort of metagaming, to speed up what they would have discussed as a group. I mean, these guys, have fought side by side countless times, and all this. They'd be pretty tight when it comes to, crunch time, when, something weird or something that wants to kill them is right there, trying to kill them. They wouldn't be quite like the X-Men where they're shouting out maneuver A, maneuver, Z or whatever. But they would have some.
Actually, that depends on the group. Like
Right.
Legion of Myth has a story about how a group of his, I think from Earth Dawn, one of the guys had such complicated type combos and attacks. Instead of trying to list off what he was doing, he would just say Big Mac, or no, Whopper with cheese, double Whopper with cheese, and things like that.
Okay.
So everyone knew exactly what he was doing, because otherwise he had to list off, I am doing this, and this in this combo attack.
Mm-hmm.
I could go for a double Whopper with cheese right now.
Yeah, we had Whoppers last night, and the bastards forgot my son's fiery hot chicken fries, so we had to go back, and it was kind of lame.
Fucking
double bacon
assholes.
Whopper would be really good.
They've got
I
they've
hate
got
having fast food this late at night.
they've got a new double bacon grilled sourdough burger, and they've got like two different new grilled sourdough burgers, which I'm a big fan of. Sometimes, matter of fact, I think that's what-
I've got to cook up some bacon and put them into a grilled cheese.
I'm trying to get Jackie
Grilled
to be
cheese
more
with
into
bacon.
those for breakfast sandwiches.
What,
Grilled
grilled?
cheese with scrambled eggs and cheese,
Yeah,
like that. And he just like every time he goes to like a restaurant and gets a sourdough kind of grilled cheese kind of burger or something, they're like they've lost any semblance of crispy. They're just flat. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Right? It's like rubbery at that point. The bread,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be crispy. You're supposed to
needs to be
hear that
fresh.
crunch. Right. Even that's why like when we pick up fast food and bring it home to eat, it's kind. I'm like, you're paying for it to be a certain way when you get it, from a fast food place, and if you wait too long, it might as well have been sitting a half hour.
Yeah,
Well,
you gotta eat it there,
it's
man.
one of my favorite jokes up here, and it's not too far from the truth. If you were to let McDonald's fries sit long enough, you could put them into like a what is some of that compressed gas called?
CO2.
Yeah, you could put it into a CO2 cannon and use them as ammo.
Yeah, and
Yeah, they become really hard.
unlike some fried foods that you can throw in an air fryer and bring back to life, That's not one of them.
Yeah.
No.
Onion rings. Oh my God, that's something you could do if you get the right kind of onion rings. Really, any kind of onion rings. Like we get these onion rings that come in like a huge bag, like a lunch bag full, and I can't finish them, so I'll throw them in the refrigerator and then put them back in the air fryer the next night, and they're like, oh, to die for.
Raw
Or Cracker Box egg rolls. What?
Refrigerator.
What?
Raw fridge re a
Yeah, I know. I'm always giving Connell trouble for the way he pronounces library.
It's like
But-
you removed all the R's from the word.
I don't even remember how I said it.
Fidgeator?
No, I thought I said refrigerator.
Refrigerator?
I'll just say fridge.
Raider.
Is that okay? You okay with fridge?
Sounds like
Yeah,
a
I
normal
heard it.
talking person down here from Louisiana. He sounds like he talks normal over here, so I'm saying.
That's okay. I heard capiciator.
Okay, all right.
Uh,
All right, so
We got medulla oblongata down here in Louisiana, so
kick
we're number
him.
67 in the nation in education. Just to let you know, so we're. not
Oh,
number-
my favorite
Nice.
Southern speaking joke is from Jeff Foxworthy.
Out of 50.
Talking about NASCAR. You know why everyone hates Jeff Gordon? Because Jeff Gordon enunciates, and there is no place in NASCAR for that. True NASCAR fans want the interview where they have absolutely no idea what the driver said.
yep.
They just want to know that you're sponsored by Coke, Pepsi Cola, and Durex condoms.
Beer
Hey, I
makes
take a
you
sponsorship
smarter.
from a
Made
condom.
Budweiser. No,
Uh,
not anymore. We don't like Bud. We don't like Bud Light.
The slogan I'd come up with: use protection, folks. Don't have children like me.
Tix.
Hey, what's up,
357
Bert?
Magnum. No.
Thank you for the vote of confidence in my enunciation.
for bro. Fridge.
So you guys all ready for the holidays?
Yeah, look, I got the hat. Looks like the festive cheer.
Yeah, I
I
forgot
got my
my hat.
chair. That's the place where I was sitting. That's pretty much everything.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy today. I went to Hobby Lobby to get something for the boy that he really wanted, and I'm like, not a problem. I'll go get it. And
I ate a fruitcake last night.
In one sitting.
I told you what happened to my fruitcake, right?
Yeah, I would
The
have
dog
brushed
ate
the
it.
ants off of it and eaten it anyway.
Yeah, it was weird though because when I found out what happened to it, I'm like, the ants were like just totally stuck to it. There was no way of
Then
fixing
you eat
it. I
the
smelled
ants.
it.
It's just protein.
I smelled it, and I'm like, that doesn't smell like fruitcake. So it was like really kind of like slippery and not slimy but shiny everywhere. And
Yeah,
it's
fruitcake can get that way. It's old.
and it was cellophane wrapped. It was one of those like like gold bar brick kind of shaped. It was like
Yeah.
technically one person could eat it in one sitting. They wouldn't use the restroom for a week, but they could.
Yeah. I broke mine up into 4. It was like that size.
Yeah,
Maybe 5 pieces.
yeah.
I
It,
don't
it
know.
was it was mostly
I didn't eat it
fruit
all
and
at
very
once.
little cake, off grid. And I had
They're
the
mostly like that now.
and I had the opportunity to buy another one, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it this year. I did find some eggnog though, so we will be doing that this year. I'm going to introduce that to Jackie's Mexican side of the family, see if they like it. I'm certain it's going to be like 50-50.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
kidding me? It's too fat. It's too full of delicious goodness and fat. Your wife's going to think it's poison the moment she tastes it.
Put
Probably.
bourbon in it, though. Make sure and put bourbon. That's always good.
Well, like I said, you should make it from scratch. Really, you need eggs, like heavy cream, preferably, or a good milk, sugar, and then nutmeg and cinnamon, vanilla extract,
And 5 gallons of bourbon.
and 5 gallons. Kahlua is better.
Really?
Never tried it with Kahlua.
Kahlua.
What about
you know
Godiva and Kahlua? That might be good.
I might just pick up some Kahlua for them tomorrow to go along with it on the way back from church.
Yeah.
That way I know they'll drink it. Jackie might even have some too, believe it or not. He's been joking about drinking a little too much lately. So I'm like, all right, tough guy, let's see what you got.
Yeah, just don't tell him.
Can you
Hand him the glass of eggnog with the Kahlua in it.
right? Yeah, and I can't do that. But he's been
And a
joking
big
about it.
slab of fruitcake to fill his stomach so it doesn't get him too fucked up.
Can you picture him drunk?
You better film it.
His mom was.
Yes, I
was
can
going-
actually picture him drunk because few things about Jackie or that you describe about Jackie kind of reminds me of my attitude when I was a teenager. And he is, if he's like me, he's going to be a very calm, mellow, disappointing drunk.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I never was that drunk. The calm one. That was always.
Yeah, same here, Eldrad.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah.
I could jump through that barbed wire fence and not get hit by the. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go rob a store. Huh, No, I didn't do that. No, but
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
I
all
know
kinds
what you mean. I got. That's why I quit drinking the couple of times that I did. The first time I quit drinking when I was 19, because I had enough, and then the second time I was in my 30s.
I think my best drunk story I ever had was this Hilton that got destroyed by Hurricane Laura. It was back in the 80s. So my buddy rented a room. We got music playing, Metallica. I got this big giant wristwatch that's got some spikes, and I don't know where the hell I bought it at. But anyway, this dude's girlfriend and him walk in. This girl hates I never did anything to her. She just disliked me. I'm sitting there, you do it, and that watch, the strap breaks. It flies across the hotel room and nails her in the temple. That's one of my best drunk things, and they thought I did it on purpose, but I really didn't. I mean, it was funny, but almost had to get into a fight.
I got a picture of Jackie when he's drunk.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
let's see it. See, I heard that one. What's the deal?
Franco.
You're not far off. I mean, that's a good 50 years away, but
Nah, he'll just immediately become Franco the second he gets drunk.
yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the 18, the 21, drinking age, where everywhere else in the world it's like half that, where it's really dumb, especially considering at 17 and a half you can enlist in the military if you get an okay from your parents or other situations. If you can do that, you can pretty much guarantee if you were to enlist at that age, you're going to be drinking at some point on a base somewhere.
Yeah. I think it's a byproduct because it's 18 here in Canada, like
Right.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're only that high up because you guys are next to us, or it would be still 16. And I think you guys have the 21 because of the prohibition.
Mm.
But I could be talking on my butthole.
Yeah, I are they an adult or not? You know what I mean?
No. No one's an adult. You shut up, you infantilized. Shut up.
I mean, if they could be drafted,
Shut up.
just say it. The least you can do is get them drunk while they're there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna, potentially go off to die, and you want to deny them that one,
Doesn't the
place-
Navy still give you a liquor ration?
I don't know. I'd have to ask Bruce.
Uh,
He's the only guy I've ever known who was in the Navy.
I always thought he was kind of fruity looking.
No, I'm pretty sure
It's in
he's.
the eyes, man.
I'm pretty sure he's on the well, on our team. I adulted today. Yeah, right. Yeah, I did a bunch of adulting today too. There was a we, when I was in Hobby Lobby, the lines were crazy to check out, and they had literally 100 people in line with 3 or 4 cashiers, and this one guy who was like several lines ahead of me. Uh,
Uh,
like literally at the top of his lungs, open more registers, getting like really, dumb about it. Everybody's being patient. We
well,
got days until Christmas. Relax. And he's with his kids, He's got like a boy and a girl, they're about 8 to 12 years old, and he's just being a total jackass. And I really, really wanted to just tell him, dude, chill. You'll
We
get that.
can have stuff like that, like solve the problem, but you know,
It was just, come on. I mean, it's Hobby Lobby. They're doing the best they can. If they can't get more cashiers, because just because you work at a store doesn't mean you have been cleared to work the register. You know what I mean? So, some people don't have that training.
uh,
They may be stockers, and that's their job, and they're not cashiers. And I if I had a store, I wouldn't train everybody to work the register. There'd be this is your job, this is your job.
yeah. No,
And he was just
during
being,
this time of the year, if you've got 5 fucking registers, there should be 5 cashiers.
yeah,
Uh,
and
you've got
mind you,
your times of the year that are like the high flow.
busy, sure.
Yeah,
But it could have been,
you should know
because
better.
it was around noon, so it could have easily been that there were 2 cashiers
Yeah.
on lunch.
Eh,
Yeah, we did go to the swap meet a couple weeks ago. That was the closest we do to an outdoor Christmas market. I heard about the thing in Germany today. Uh, so yeah, I'm not going in any big gathering type things like that. Uh,
another one in Germany. I wonder if they'll arrest the person trying to stop it like they did last time.
well,
Germans.
it
Such a
was
fucking cucked people, man.
yeah, but it was just like I was an adult because I really wanted to say something because I was like one of the only guys in the building that it was in line. It was mostly women. There were a couple of old guys with their wives, but it was just like, no, no, no. I already got in trouble. I almost got into a fight in the Hobby Lobby earlier this year with Jackie and I. We were minding our own business in line, and there was this woman and her son and daughter, and she was Mexican, and she was just like running her mouth about her husband was a worthless cheapskate and doesn't pay for anything and blah blah blah. And me and Jack are just minding our own business, and we noticed the kid on the conveyor belt had this really cool model kit. I forget what it was like. It was a Star Wars something. I think it
Yeah.
could have been a Gundam, and we were like checking it out. And she gets all freaking starts calling me racist and stuff, and I'm like, whoa, we're just admiring your freaking your model kit. And the daughter's like pulling her mom, shh, because we couldn't help overhear what she was saying about her dad, but we were keeping our mouths shut. We literally had said nothing. And then as soon as she was done checking out, her husband walks into Hobby Lobby, and he's like 8 feet tall, 1,200 pound white guy, you know. And I'm like, and she's
Yeah.
like, he's racist, blah blah blah. And I'm like, boy, have you got just because I'm white, my boy
Yeah.
is, he might as well be full Mexican, in his mind, and it could have gone real south, but uh, I left him with the line, "You got to go home with her, not me."
Yeah.
It was just like I felt so sorry for the poor guy because he's got to take his wife's word for it. You know what I mean? Kind of.
Yeah, even though
He knows who she is. His daughter's saying no, no, because she was like on our side, not
Yeah.
wanting to cause a scene, and even the cashier's like, dude, you didn't say a thing. You're just mind your own business. And she realized we overheard her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it was like, why are you airing your dirty
Yeah.
laundry? Next to the cashier, your kids, etc. It was just like, so I was
Yeah.
getting into another altercation because they recognize me. I'm in
Oh,
Hobby
yeah.
Lobby almost every
I
week.
I actually ended up getting a woman removed from a store over that bullshit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Per.
She was saying bullshit just like you, where I don't know exactly what she was saying, but and then she accused me of eavesdropping on her conversation, and she was having this conversation with her friend and or her daughter, whatever, and I'm simply in fucking line in a distance that I could hear her. Period. She accuses me of eavesdropping and literally tries to physically assault me.
Yeah. Fucking people.
And the cops were called, and she said, and her first response was, he tried to rape me
Well, false
in the
charges.
middle of the fucking store.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Your response
I mean,
should have been, I am pressing charges. Making a false complaint is a crime.
Yes, it
Yep.
is.
I did not know that at the time.
Yeah.
Plus I was still under temporary probation at that time.
So what? Doesn't matter. I would like to press charges.
Well, not
Yeah,
knowing
false-
my stand on that law, on any of the law.
Well, now you do.
Ignorance
The more you know.
Yeah.
is not always bliss.
It rarely is. But yeah.
But yeah, and there's actually a secondary story link that actually freaked me out at first when she screened that, because I actually have on my record someone accusing me of attempted rape. Mind you, I think someone pressed charges against her for her false charges, or the police, because later on she recanted her story.
Yeah.
But I do know someone accusing you, no matter the circumstances afterwards, never leaves your record in
Yeah.
America.
Yeah, guilty until proven innocent. Yeah.
Well, in that
more-
case, you're still
Oh no, I
guilty
was proven
after
innocent, but I
proven
guarantee you, it's on my record that I was
Yeah.
accused of
Yeah.
rape. Not that I was acquitted, or that she recanted, just that I was
Yep.
accused
Yeah.
of it.
And that's bullshit. And off grid, Hobby Lobbies are not open on Sunday because they're a very Christian hobby shop.
Yeah.
But they have some really great sales. Like every 2 weeks, certain things are always on sale, like their model kits every 2 weeks. They've got Vallejo paints, brushes. I mean, whatever it is you're looking for, you can find it there. It's a little more expensive because it's the hobby tax is prevalent there, but they make up for it with sales on regular stuff. Okay, Eldrad, you take care, buddy. Merry Christmas.
Have a good one. Merry Christmas,
Thanks
everyone.
for
Merry
stopping by.
Christmas.
And if you talk to Bubba before I do, tell him Merry Christmas for us.
I sure will.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
See ya.
Party on.
Yeah, you kind of these days have to really know a lot more about the law than you used to, and believe it or not,
Yeah.
everywhere I've gone, I've found that cops, your standard beat cops, anywhere here in the States, will try and get away with a lot of stuff that they're not allowed to do. Like a lot of stuff. Simple things like, well, you'd have to look it up, but, there are things that they think they can make you do that they can't, but they'll do it anyways. You have to check your own immediate area, things like ID,
Yeah.
stuff like that, where you can't
I need to answer Pearl real quick.
film things, stuff like that.
In the U.S., you can film on every single public street everywhere. It's First Amendment protected activity.
Yeah.
And any cop telling you can't is breaking the law.
And you immediately request to speak to their superior and have them come out to the site.
Yeah.
Don't let them take you in,
Yeah.
because then they'll get you for resisting arrest. and then it's a completely different story. It doesn't matter what you did to get arrested, because now you're resisting arrest, and that's sometimes more serious
Yeah.
than
Well,
whatever.
no, it's a false arrest. So I was resisting an unlawful detainment.
Yeah.
You know, you got to always make that argument, and if it goes to court, never allow your lawyer to do, well, I was in the wrong, but I had the right. No, you were in the right, and that's why you were right. You never do the maybe people dislike it, so that kind of defense. You know,
Yeah.
it's distasteful. Never do that
Yeah.
because
Unfortunately,
you're justifying
unfortunately,
the
here most
criminal
people,
act.
and I mean most people, cannot afford a lawyer,
Hmm.
and the process becomes the punishment for
Yeah.
having anything to do with a law enforcement agency whatsoever. It will cost you more than them, and they're always on the clock. So you're fucked. So just
Yeah.
keep your nose clean, mind your own business when you can, and like Per said, look up your local laws when you have the time, and make yourself familiar with as many of them as possible. I carry a knife, but I make sure that all the things are legal, if you know what I mean, the length and where it's carried and the type of knife and things like that.
The
Uh,
fact that they have those laws in the first place are fucking bullshit, but still.
you're absolutely right. Every man, woman, and child should always have a knife on them. Period.
The
I
right
don't
to
care if
bear
you're in the
arms,
shower.
and it shouldn't matter what kind they are.
Yep. You
Uh,
should have one everywhere you go, even in the shower. Uh,
well, maybe not the shower, but
well, I mean,
on the table next to the
Not
shower.
unless you're a risky shaver.
well, I mean, we all saw Psycho. I mean, how much different would that movie have been if the chick pulled out a butterfly knife and just started getting, inking?
Where would she have pulled it from?
It's on the
This
soap.
isn't a shadow
It's on the
production.
soap dish. It's on the soap dish.
In shadow movies, yes, a lot of things are hooped, but
Thanks
usually
again,
not
Carl.
knives. Uh,
Them's the rules. I love that. I say that all the time. Per them's the rules. It's piss poor
fuck.
grammar, but it just sounds. Sometimes the way you say things like that makes you not only sound but feel like you've done stuff. You know what I mean? Like you've seen things, you've seen some action.
Shadow, shadow, shadow.
Doesn't it?
You're like 12.
Yeah, I'm exactly 1,200. No,
Really?
12, and that's not my age. That's my IQ. Um, it's just I grew up surrounded by cops and other people with very colorful life experience is. So I picked up a lot of that lingo from them. A lot of it that's completely, lost to the ages that people don't talk like that anymore. But every time I hear some phrase turnings, it really just, gets me right there. Yeah, folding knife, legal. Oh, you loosen the tension on the blade. Yeah, I actually picked up a really nice gravity knife, but I don't take it outside. So they kiss my grits. I think that's the expression I'm looking for. Uh, Next time I go to that swap meet, I'm going to pick up a new butterfly knife because the one I have is 50 years old. Again, it's not outside. I actually have a collector's box so I can say, yeah, I collect them. I don't take them outside.
Yeah.
It's completely legal.
Yeah. Um, I actually agree with you, Per. There's a class of people that should not be allowed to touch weapons, but we should probably institutionalize those people as well.
Well, here's the thing: if we weren't so the way we are about things like that, because a knife is a tool first,
Yeah.
and if we taught our children to use one, I'm giving out a couple of knives this year for Christmas to people I care about. And if you become comfortable and you know how to use it, and you keep it.
It's not that kind of like there are a lot of you've watched the crime channels as much as I
Yes,
have, if
yes.
not more. You know the
Now,
kind
I'm
of
not
people I'm
talking
talking
handing out
about.
machetes to everybody or
Yeah,
gladiuses. I'm talking a good solid pocket knife, a Gerber or a Buck or
yeah.
something like that.
That group of people would be shanking people anyway.
Well, I mean,
Germany.
I think I don't know if I can say that, but I mean, if it's not that, then it's a screwdriver. That's what Bernie Getz almost got shanked with, was a couple of screwdrivers. But if everybody, knew how to use one as a tool and use one once in a while, things would be a little different. But now we're afraid of everything. It's plastic sporks for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. If someone took my brain out because it's so calcified, it would be a big, a rock, and you could easily throw that as a weapon. So I don't really want brains in other people's possessions. But no, I know what you mean. Off grid, people have, at least where I live, have become incredibly lazy and dumb. It's unbelievable in my lifetime, and now I know how a lot of the old timers when I was a youngster felt, because we were pretty soft compared to them. You look at people that are, if there's anybody around who's like in their hundreds, I wouldn't mess with them, even though they're in their hundreds. They're going to break a hip, but they're still going to kick my ass with that broken hip. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, some of them, but these are the same people that fell for every fucking lie they were told.
Right, right. But had they not been, on their own individually, in a car broken down by the side of the road kind of situation, you know, they're solid. You know what I mean? When it comes to other stuff, most people don't know how to do that. Their car breaks down. First thing they do is grab their phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that lady I always talk about, her car's going into a freaking lake and it's sinking. And what's she doing? You could see people filming her like on her phone.
yeah.
Oh my God, Krista, you won't believe what happened to me.
Well, no, she was calling someone for help.
Instead of like opening the window and swimming out.
Right. Like there's anybody who can get there in time. You
Yeah.
know, in a matter of seconds, you're going to be underwater and in a death
Well,
trap.
I don't like doing this, but I have actually noticed that this country is being literally trained to be less and less independent and more dependent on government officials. What
Oh,
does every
absolutely.
single show, especially at childhood, what does every single show imply? Listen to the cops. Listen to the cops. Listen to your governor. Listen to the cops.
Yep.
Don't defend yourself. Wait for the cops. Don't try to go into a burning building to save your child. Wait for the firemen and bullshit like that.
Well,
I
yeah,
only put this link up
especially
because it's a
especially now
brain.
when we live in an era where curb stomping is one of the most likely things that's going to happen to you in a fight, and curb
Yeah.
stomping usually leads to
Derek
permanent injury, if not death.
Derek Vineyard did nothing wrong.
That's a name.
No, she
It's
clearly
the
did.
character from American History X.
Hey,
Oh,
Travis, where you been, man? Shit, dude, I haven't
Yeah,
talked to you in forever. Merry
yeah.
Christmas, brother.
it
Next
shows up
time,
at the end
Um,
of the
let
show.
us know you're here, man.
uh,
Seriously.
yeah. In that movie, his house gets shot up, and he drags the guy out of the car, uh,
Uh,
and curb stomps him, and then goes to prison for it because curb stopping a guy that just shot at your house is wrong.
yeah. If you're talking about, because you might have been hearing it with me talking, I forgot to turn it off before I came on the show. It's just relaxing music that usually help people sleep. It helps me physically calm down for some reason, especially when I've been pissed off by something. Long story
Off-grid.
short, my nephew blatantly lied to me earlier today.
That's not cool. Off grid, you're the man. I was impressed, but I am blown away that you got a portable shitter in your trunk. That's freaking.
Now, I just assume his car now smells worse than Raven's place.
No, I just presume that it's just simply a hole through the bottom of the trunk. So when he drives away, it's not his problem.
those are bear piles he's finding. They're his piles.
Well, no, I mean it's probably a bucket with a toilet seat and a disposable plastic bag. Am I right, off grid? Something like that.
Mine sounds better.
Shut up. Ours are funnier.
Yes.
I know, but off grid's awesome.
I don't know. Have you ever heard him mumbling when he's drunk?
Yes, I have. That's one of the things I enjoy most about him. That dude is freaking intense.
Bro,
Yes, you're
you
intense,
need to
bro.
cut the sauce down by about half as much during game time.
Or what was I going to say?
You,
Just
Shadow,
start a
you-
little like wait until the first hour, or start with something lighter. You know, because we're only going to be there like 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Shadow, you need to cut the sauce down when you're trying to explain things.
Yeah, me too, per. But one thing I've learned is your family's going to be the first people to lie to you, so get used to it, learn to see through it, learn their tells, and then call them on it. Just don't let them know you know what their tells are. Like my dog's tail is woof, right, buddy? Come here. You've been a butthead all day. He's been like every time I try to pet him or go near him, he's like terrified that I'm gonna like give him a you know what. You know, I tried to feed him and stuff, and he's like all cringy and stuff. I'm like, dude, I haven't hit you in like 3 weeks. Relax. He's looking at me like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a good
Yeah.
boy.
Merry Christmas, Travis.
Yes, Travis. Seriously, I don't even. God, it's been like months and months and months and months. We used to chat all the freaking time. Seriously,
think
folks,
about
if you come in and you're being quiet, just at least say hi. You know, instead of just lurking. You know, I mean, I do that a lot too, especially with a couple of friends of mine because I know if I say even one word, they're going to be like, "Get in here," and I'm like,
No.
I just finished Justin's show, you know, or you know, I've got chores to do and I just want to, you know, chill out with my bros, but not fully participate. And then they'll guilt me into, you know, clicking the link. Like Friday, I was like on Legion of Myth. It was like as soon as I said hi, they're like, "Get in here!" I'm like going to dinner, just waiting. I can't. If I, you know, if I click that link, I'm going to be there for an hour, and I don't have an hour.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. You showed them off quite nicely. I'm a little jealous, but I got a couple of my own. I am looking for a really good, like, solid one-piece, all-metal, you know, hatchet that I can take camping.
Oh, you don't want a solid one-piece metal axe. The vibration down the shaft will fuck your arm up.
Yeah, but I also know that if I get something with a wooden handle, it's going to, like, sit there for, like, 5 years before I use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's in a cool, dry place, or even a warm, dry place, as long as it's dry, wood's not
Yeah.
going to rot over just 5 years.
You know what I did? I
Maybe
actually
add a 0 to the end of that, and you'll still be probably good.
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
Shadow, I work with wood. I have a technically it's black oak and syringa. It's a bushwood, but I've had this for over a decade, and it not only does it have no signs of rotting, the only damage it has is me being abusive to the head, and it's got a big old divot because of it.
Really?
As long as wood is kept dry, Well, mostly depending on the exact environment, but dry and it's just gonna last for basically ever. If it's in a wet environment, as long as it doesn't get oxygen, it'll last for basically ever.
Yeah.
That's why they've been able to pull logs from hundreds of years ago off the bottom of old lakes.
That's what I was looking at off grid. I was looking at a couple others, but that I narrowed it down to them and one other company. But I want something that I can hang from my belt that's about, yay big, a little over a foot.
Oh, you're not even looking for a hatchet then. You're looking for what I call a face splitter. Because they're not much good for much better than their weight is so crappy at that size. You need something about a foot and a half, or if not
Well,
longer,
I've got
for a
I've got a
decent
full
hatchet.
size axe,
Ooh,
but I want something for like caning and stuff like that.
yeah, that's what I mean. Unless you're popping off limbs, it's going to be a really lightweight for doing actual
No,
hatchet work.
for limbs, I'd go with a saw most times.
No. Usually, you just whack them with what you're talking about. They'll pop off a lot faster than a saw.
Really?
Yeah.
You're by weight and comparison to what you're talking, Shadow. You're literally saying you're going to use a machete in the place of an axe. That's how heavy and useful that thing is going to be.
The axe will actually be better for limbs than a machete.
Well,
if it's a felled log.
Oh yeah, I'm referring to the fact that he wants such a short axe handle. It's like, I've experienced hatchets with that axe handle's length. They do not chop very well.
Depends on what you're doing with it.
Yeah, well.
I looked up the name Off Grid just put up, and they got one there that is 23 inches long.
Fiskars makes axe heads?
Axes, yeah. And it's a carbon fiber. It looks like a carbon fiber.
Ooh.
Handle.
Carbon fiber is really nice, actually.
Yeah. Well, it's. I can't say that it actually is because it's not listing it here, but it's got that appearance.
Okay.
Of being one of those materials.
Well, at this point, with carbon fiber, you get the nice flexibility of wood, with the resilience of metal. Because I will say there is one downside to wooden handles; they do not handle abuse very well.
Oh, they can if they're properly made, but
well, there is use abuse and there is abuse.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I'm talking abuse.
Yeah. I don't know if it's not opening up. Maybe I can do. Oh no. This. But you see, it's a captured head. It's not like so you couldn't rehandle this.
Yeah, Shadow's not here to post it up on screen.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice he stepped away because he didn't say anything, and I was looking at the thing. God damn.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, but it's the wrong. This. I'm gonna actually close it down because I opened up the other window on the website. I assume Shadow is in the toilet.
Being eaten by piranha.
That's why he's on
No, I'm not. I'm trying to find one. They're all occupied.
You're trying to find a piranha?
No, a restroom.
Yeah.
My aunt actually had Piran Bay piranha. They're the biggest species of piranha, but they're not the least, but one of the least dangerous, because unlike the Caribe, they don't swarm. They're more of a vulture type carrion eater.
Yeah.
I have a video on piranha. I was so obsessed with that movie, I actually stole it from my high school.
Why?
I have my only excuse is I love things that are educational, and it was educational, and for some reason I absolutely loved the piranha story. I mean,
The original one.
no, it's not a drama movie. It's a talking about the rainforest and specifically the piranhas in it.
Oh, okay. That's a different story then.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I was like basically millimeters away from getting my teacher to put Ghost in the Darkness as a science study movie.
Ghost in the Darkness.
The one where the twin lions are killing humans.
Okay, I've never heard that.
Oh, you should really watch it. It's a good movie.
Okay.
The one in Africa where one of the lions had like a bad tooth or something, so it couldn't like feast on its normal prey.
No, this is a story. Now, what some people believe, I'm not 100% sure, is that the lions went after people because there was a drought and they were drinking human blood. Problem is they actually show the cave, and even for the purposes of drinking blood, those lions killed a hell of a lot of people.
Okay.
But the story takes place for a bridge builder, and I don't think it actually happened this way, but in the movie, the lions basically take him on as their nemesis because they realize he's the only one that. Because there was a third lion, which I don't think was part of the first two, but they've received him as a threat after he killed that first lion.
Okay.
The story basically spirals of him and the lions becoming obsessed with each other.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, it's really good.
Like Moby Dick kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like a Moby Dick kind of thing.
And we know Shadow knows about Dick. That's the only thing I can contribute.
In fact,
I got a very limited repertoire.
In fact, there is a Moby Dick moment at the end, towards the end of the movie. The guy basically says, "All right, one of us. It's either you or me, lion."
Okay.
So who won? Who lives?
The dude.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
You never know.
Yeah, that is true.
The lions are still out there hunting their prey, and they might be near you anytime soon. Dun, dun, dun.
The lions were actually. The story is based loosely off a true story. The lions were actually killed by a dude who was building a bridge, and they are stuffed in a museum.
Okay.
Right on. Off grid. What do you mean wrap the haft?
He's probably referring to giving you a leather handle or something like that.
That's kind of what I figured.
You even if you have a fiber or wood handle, metal handle, fiber, whatever handle, unless it's got a good rubber grip, you usually want to put something on the end of it. And even then, attaching something so you have a loop you can attach around your wrist. Because especially if you're using that all day, your hand's eventually going to give out, and you're not careful, you're going to let go of that thing as you're swinging.
All right,
so having it attached to your wrist is
always
a
thought
good
that's kind of what gloves were for.
A lanyard.
No,
a lanyard.
Imagine your hand starting to get tired and you lose gription because you can't hold the axe anymore.
Well, then you take a break.
Well, that depends on the circumstances. Do you have time to take a break? The sun is going down. You're in the middle of the forest. You got to get something split up so you can get a fire going. Do you have time to take a break?
Well, when I'm out, I keep careful track of where the sun is, and
The answer is sometimes no, Shadow. Sometimes no. Sometimes you have to do things even if you're in a time crunch. You could be out in the middle of nowhere and you got 3 hours to get a camp set up, and you either work until it's done or you sit there shivering in the dark until you freeze to death because you were too fucking lazy to get things done.
Yeah, I remember one of the last times I was camping, we found a cave, and we built a fire, and
Ooh.
I ended up. It was weird. This cave had like almost like a natural chimney,
Yeah.
and I ended up sleeping in the chimney because we ran out of.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not the ideal circumstances.
Yeah.
Also, that movie had Val Kilmer in it, so it's either really, really good or really, really bad.
As far as I'm concerned, it's better than the Val Kilmer Batman.
That's not hard.
Yeah,
fair.
That's like saying this pile of broccoli in front of me is better than eating boogers.
Hey, I love broccoli.
You were supposed to
I
say
would have lost my.
boogers.
I
So
would
much
have lost
funnier.
my skin if you said I was eating boogers.
Well,
Um,
I did eat boogers as a kid.
I don't know.
You don't remember that far back,
Yeah, I
Shadow.
really don't. I don't know if boogers were a thing back then. And speaking of Batman, who's your guys' favorite actor to play Batman?
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, he's the only one that's actually memorable.
I was going to say the same
The rest
thing.
of them-
I literally was. I was thinking about it.
The rest of them I can't actually remember. I remember the villains more than I do the Batman actors.
Yeah.
And he was great as he was the best Bruce Wayne as well. Even though I can't stand the guy as a person, I got to admit he was the best Batman and an even better Bruce Wayne than all the Bruce Waynes put together, except maybe Adam West. Just because it's a totally, it's like apples to oranges comparison. You ate boogers yesterday, so.
Yeah, but the problem with the Adam West series is that was intended as a parody.
Right.
Like they got the actual name to do the parody with. Zim Bam.
Biff. Ow.
Biff. Was there ever Biff?
Yeah.
Pow. Biff Pow.
But yeah, Keaton definitely to this day. I mean, how many people have played him now? Like 10?
Okay, off grid.
The only
bad.
the only DC, in fact, I only think the only comic book character period who's had more actors is Superman.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Raw was pretty good, but I it's been a while. I just got the Batman with Christian Bale trilogy because I've never seen the third one and I don't remember much of the first one. But I did watch the one with the Joker in recently on YouTube, and
YouTube. Oh, people in their piracy.
No, it was just on YouTube.
It's my job.
It was with commercials, so I watched it, and it was actually a playlist, so I could tell there were a lot of missing elements to it. So I'm like, that sucks, because I kept getting these. You get shorts, and for some reason, Heath Ledger Joker clips just kept showing up and showing up. I'm like, damn. I know most people don't like.
I have Unhooked as an extension on my browser, so it allows me to turn off different elements for YouTube. So I have sidebar, auto pop up, shorts, and something else. Just like I don't see them.
Although
you can literally shut down every single aspect of YouTube except the video player. You'll have to know the video name to be able to find it. And otherwise, it's just a white page. With that
What's
extension.
up, Paul?
TCG. Did you check out that extension I sent you for the Chrome?
Yes, I haven't dived into it yet, but I do have it up for checking out purposes. I was busy yesterday trying to get trying to do both books at the same time, but it's really hard to do a game book and a dirty story book at the same time.
Yeah.
Especially given the fact one is about sex, one is about food. No, it requires two different mindsets.
That extension, you highlight something on anything on the screen when you're on the web, and then you right click it and show that logo in it. You click it and it'll read it. It doesn't work on Google Docs, but it works on just about anything else. So you can just
That will be useful. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but when you sent the email about me using the term vaginal wall, I put it in
I did.
Word so I could have the Word thing read it to me.
Oh, okay.
I need to make sure I actually read it correctly. I don't know if you noticed me adding that to the Word doc or not, but since you have access to it.
No.
Of course, I took it out. I took it out after I read it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come up with a better term. You are right. That is.
Yeah, it's.
That's a bit scientific.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not a OBGYN visit, is it?
Yeah.
No, you have access to Shadow to it. Shadow, you could read it, get a little inspiration of how to really write some actual
heterosexual sex,
dirty scenes instead of just lesbian. Yeah, heterosexual instead of just lesbian.
No. He's just pretending they don't have penises.
No,
he's pretending they do, but they also have vaginas.
Oh dear God, no. And off grid, excuse me, I never read that one. I remember seeing it on the shelves, but I was never a Turtles fan, even though I think I have like half the original run of the Turtles in black and white back in the day, but I just never got into it. The original movie was good. I did like that.
Well, as much as I like Ninja Turtles, I will have to admit it is kind of a interesting flavor of comic and cartoon.
Yeah, I heard the original comic books were really dark and.
Oh yeah, the original comic books. The original comic books. Shredder was killed literally in the first episode. The Turtles used guns. The Foot were not robots. They were actual people being shot, and one person literally had his head split open by Raphael in the comic. I think, or was it Leonardo with the sword? It might have been. It was someone cracked him in the head, and his head was split wide open.
I'll have to go dig those out this summer because I'm going to go through my whole comic book collection.
Well, be careful with them. They're worth money.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll look it up on Netflix. It might be there. Otherwise, I wouldn't. The Batman Teenage Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh God, that was so awful. I was so bad I didn't even finish it.
Crying game.
Batman versus the Ninja Turtles. It's like, why would Batman ever go up against the Ninja Turtles?
It's the mistaken. It's like there's this thing. I don't know what it is, but I immediately have to attack it because we need a reason for there to be a comic book.
Yeah, off grid. Omanel sent me the entire Warlord DC Comics run, and I read like 2 of them, and I just forgot about it until recently. I really, when it comes to
high residential scans.
What are you reading those with a drone or something?
I'll be right back.
All right. I've been buying omnibuses when I can, or graphic novels, even rarer. I just want the book in my hand when I do that.
Someone actually, it was my mother. No, yeah, I know who it was. It was my mother first, and then I've got a bunch of comics from Legion of Myth that I don't know what to do with because I'm not a comic book.
Let me know what they are. I might give you a good price for
them. I actually have them. Excuse me a second.
Yeah, he sent me.
But I have most of them on hand.
He sent me some as well last year, and I never got around to reading them. I don't even remember what they were, but they were really nice graphic novels. I won in one of his contests, and Uh, it was stuff I'd never heard of, and eventually I'll get to it. But I want to go through my comic book collection. Uh, that's a really good price. I want to say, but it could still be low. I mean, uh, from what I've been researching, most comic books these days are damn near impossible to sell, especially in bulk.
Okay. Okay, here, first one I found is a foil cover of Hexperkind.
All right.
It's a Marvel comic.
Wait, sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Hexperkind? Hexperkind? Hxperkind.
Never heard of it.
Me neither. It's a Marvel comic, though, and it's got 6 women in it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I got one of Flash. Oh, I didn't know I had this one. This one might actually be worth checking out before I send it off. Death Hall, okay. Guest starring the Punisher. Death Hall, okay. I used to have one of his comics, and he was kind of an interesting comic. He's some sort of cyber human upgrade that I think would give Superman a run for his money, because I think his is alien technology.
Hmm.
So yeah, I got a couple comics of him. Half foil. I don't know if that's considered foil or not, but it's got foil edges of Spider-Man 1999.
That was the one I used to collect.
I don't know much more, but it's $1.75. Yeah, $1.75 US. So that might tell you a little bit about the date.
Mhm.
That's not recent.
No, but also Spidey 2099. I think that series only ran like a year. All the 2099 stuff.
Ooh.
Which
Okay, I'm pretty sure you're gonna want this one. It is a definitely foil cover of giant size 30th anniversary. Excuse me. Oh, Spatman. Spatman,
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, because I thought the 2099 series started in 1999. So that's weird. Maybe I'm off by that on that.
I don't know. Well, they're 2 separate comics. I'm just
Okay.
saying. There's also the anniversary one
Okay.
with. Ooh, it's got unfolding page art. I'll definitely send you a picture of that. Yeah, I'll send you a picture of all of these. No problem. Ghost Rider, Midnight Suns.
Love that.
Don't know if that's any good.
Yeah.
That one is still new in its package.
Hmm.
Special collector's issue. That's what the package says.
Cool.
Ghost Rider rides again. The original Ghost Rider rides again.
Yeah, Ghost Rider is one of those ones that I want to get back into. That and Moon Knight, even though when I last read Moon Knight, he actually died, and then I noticed in Iraq somewhere, I forget where I was at, and I saw they brought him back, and you know how like out of control, crazy powerful they made him, and like what?
Yeah.
He was always like low powered hero.
So here we also have Ghost Rider, Nightmare's Realm.
Cool.
This is another issue. Oh, okay. Okay, so here we go. We have the original Ghost Rider rides again, part 2 of 7, part 3 of 7, and that's all I got for the Ghost Riders. And Wizard number 20, The Guide to Comics. And that's not even the stuff Max Liao sent me.
It sounds like you had a really good collection there, Off Grid. I can't really picture like selling any of mine. I mean, some of them, yeah. Like I've got the entire run of Dragonlance that I couldn't give a rat's ass about. I know that's worth a crap ton of money.
What did I do with those comics?
I never got New Mutants, but I did have X-Men 101 through several hundreds later. That was one of my big favorites at the time, especially the Hellfire through the Phoenix saga. That was awesome.
The Hellfire Club.
Yeah, that was very very interesting and kind of jacked up too. With Mastermind, I think it was fucking with Jean Grey and everything.
Yeah. I never got
Okay.
into
X-Men.
comics.
Oh,
Period.
Oh yeah, still need to read that. Okay, that
Comics
why
are
is that
gay
focusing?
for little
yeah,
kids.
I haven't
Okay.
really read too many. I stopped reading when I was working at the shop, and they did the X-Men alternate universe. They just right in the middle of a season, a year, they just decided to go to this alternate reality version of the X-Men, and like
It's like a writer quit or something like that.
I don't know, it was awful.
Was
Where
that when Image? Was that when Image came out?
roughly around that time.
Yeah, so they probably lost all the artists that were working on it went over to Image, probably. McFarlane
Yeah,
and
and
shit.
the rest of the comics,
Uh,
rest of the comics that have Shadow are two actually limited edition copies of the same comic, Star Blades Volume 1.
Never heard of that one either.
start with,
Yeah, well, these ones were the one from Max Liao, so these are actually more recent. Infantile. I don't know, it's about elves. And one that you may or may not recognize the name because a lot of people talk about Cyberfrog.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about that one recently. Uh,
This is issue number 2.
he got rid of his Cyberfrog.
Yeah, and this is also a foil cover.
Yeah. Oh, did he get like the all the variant covers?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So
most. I think he had so many copies that he kept the ones he wanted and just got rid of his extras.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've got the original first run of Spawn as well. A bunch of stuff like that was like really hot at the time. I just bought them and never read them. Things like Lady Death and stuff like that. When the Image and a bunch of other people were making like the big tittied superheroines,
Oh, yeah.
comic books for a while, and
I got a couple of those in one of those like bulk bags. Remember that they were giving those? They were selling those.
like
for
Gen
the back of it.
13 and a bunch of stuff
Yeah.
like that. Um,
Yeah. I like the way comic books look, but trying to read the way a comic book is usually worded
Written.
is very hard for my dyslexic ass.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. The Comic Sans script.
Yeah.
Especially if it was back before it was regular. It's odd because they tend to have like there's a thing with Comic Sans that's easier to read when you're dyslexic, but it has to be laid out like normal text, which is weird. But yeah, I told you I was rewatching Lois and Clark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just started season 3 before the show, so I'm more than halfway done.
Yeah, I was never a big Superman fan. The only reason I have any Superman comics is because of the death of Superman, and that was
Yeah.
a big push at the shop I worked at, and I think I got like tens of each in every one of them. So it's just crazy. So when I need some money, I could easily freaking sell a couple of boxes of comics and
Uh,
make some cash.
I'll be honest with you. The only Superman I like is that 1994 series. The rest of it, like all the other versions of them, I was just or either too try hard or too saccharine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my big issue with Superman is 3 things. 1, he is a showboat. He does pose for the camera and crap like that. And as far as I'm concerned, heroes need to be icons, not fucking supermodels. Number two, well, I guess it is just basically two basic things. He's a fucking showboat, and he is arrogant as fuck. Oh, I'm not gonna stop crime on the world because you need to learn to be better, like me. Ting! Fuck you, asshole.
Well, he does.
I don't know when that.
I
became
don't remember that either.
Yeah, that's got to be like.
No, that's how Bear described
Well-
Superman, which just made me hate him.
I hate to do this, but Bear is a pretentious asshole.
Yeah, I won't deny that. Bear, well, Bear's never gonna see this. He's also a fucking hypocrite. Invite everybody, accept everybody. Fuck you, Justin. Fuck you, Kai.
Yeah,
He obviously does not a very big fan of me.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what he's got against you guys. He and I are still cool. I was trying to send him a package today, but he, he's not perfect. Most of us aren't.
No.
Kai, I can understand. Kai can rub people the wrong way, and
Oh well, here's the thing. You didn't see this. I did. Kai came up upset. I won't deny Kai started it. But instead of acting like a fucking grown adult and asking Kai to not take his daily frustrations out on him, Bear immediately went to 2-year-old child mode.
well, I can see how.
Now, if he had let me finish. Now, if he had acted like an adult, Kai got re-aggressive, and then he acted like a 2-year-old, I would have nothing to say. But he immediately went to 2-year-old. Well, fine, you're gonna act like that. Fine. It's like you are a fully grown man child if that's how you're gonna act the first time someone yells at you. This is only the second time he and Kai has ever interacted, so he has no idea about who Kai is, and he immediately does that.
Yeah,
shit.
well, Kai I mean, Kai and Bear are like very opposite in their views of comics. Bear's like all in. Kai is all out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He hates them. He left my show because we started actually talking about comics in regards to I don't even remember what, but he's like, I'm out. And it wasn't in a peaceful or dignified manner when he left the show. It's like it's part of the conversation that anybody would have when talking about whatever the subject was. It was a perfect, example, and I'm not a huge fan of what comic books have become over the last 25 years. There was a time where they were great, and then they became just garbage. And I don't know that that's changed. That's why I'm trying to get omnibuses of the old stuff because everything I've seen since.
Well, you know how Max is about that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
He praises Cyberfrog and these other comics. He's just got enough copies that he didn't need I think he said 6 of each Cyberfrog comic.
That was the thing. If you backed those campaigns, you got like every variation cover.
Yeah. He kept the variation covers he wanted and gave away the rest.
Yeah.
So he thinks Cyberfrog is good. The last group I listed off to you all came from Max.
Yeah, and they may very well be coming from a perspective of trying to make them decent again. A lot of indies are trying to do that, whereas the big two, they don't give a rat's ass what people want. They're going to do.
Well, it's about pushing the message. It's not like that. That's like a thing with all those movie Hollywood YouTube channels like the Nerdist, Nerdrotic, and all that. Is that they keep trying to say it's about the money, but no, it isn't. It's about the message.
Yeah,
they don't care about the money.
Exactly.
Right?
They know they will have a steady stream of income. Period.
Because eventually they will alter the way people think through the messaging, and the money will come back.
Yeah, you know what, Off Grid, you should have told me. I wish I would have known. I absolutely love the oversized, giant-sized comic books from back in the day. That's one of the things I want to actually get, even though they are, like you said, hard to store and bag and board. Somewhere out there's somebody doing that. Hey, what's up, Nerdy? Like I've got the original Star Wars, some Conan. I forget. I've got a bunch of them, and I freaking love those. I had great memories as a kid being able to pick those up in certain kinds of places, easy. You know, one of my favorites of all time, believe it or not, was the Shazam oversized comic books, which was like really old stuff that had been
You know, I never liked Shazam in any of the stories I seen him in, and the few times people like told me about his stories, because Shazam seemed like an overgrown fucking child to
Well,
me.
yes.
And then I found out why he
because
is.
he is.
Because he is. Yeah, it's like, okay, I can forgive
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
It
And
was also
he's far less
it
annoying
was
now.
also from a bygone era, and it was very very wholesome. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was the whole family, and as a kid, I could relate to that, and I know it's going to be corny and sappy and dated and awful, but some of those ideas really need to kind of come back. The idea of wholesomeness and
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
and
Well,
family time and things like that. As a matter of fact, when I'm
oh yeah.
here, that's exactly what I'm
It's
going to
like,
do.
it's like I know we were just bad mouthing Bear, but one thing I have to agree with him with is the modern world, especially the modern West, has worked very hard to break.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
And that's by
my
design.
brother-in-law absolutely hates that we live 3 generations on the same property.
That's
He absolutely
literally
hates
mental
it.
illness. That's mental illness.
Mhm.
He has no understanding of generational wealth.
He thinks he tolerates my mother and my father because my mother owns the property. He absolutely hates the fact that I live
It's
here.
not-
He thinks I
But
should be
why
off on
doesn't
my
he
own.
move? Does he still lives there, right? Then
Yeah. Well, he thinks he's in the right because he's got a family. He tolerates me because my mother is the
yeah,
property owner.
I would tell him live his own damn life and mind his own damn business.
yeah,
Oh, he does name his own damn business. It's just the fact that he makes it quite clear in his attitude
then
towards me. Like, for example, I have offered my help on more than one thing. He never asks for my help under any circumstances,
mhm.
ever. He, anytime food is brought up, he likes to bring the fact up that I don't contribute.
Yeah,
And I try to remind him I get less than $1,000 a month. Like, who pay? Like, because I use, next an example, I use their bathroom because I'm in a shed without a bathroom. So guess what I pay for? Toiletries.
yeah.
It's not like I'm not paying for anything.
Yeah, it's like some people are just fucking assholes, and it's like
He is.
um, you know, if he had a problem living with
Not to,
you,
yeah.
he could move
Not
and
to,
see how fucking fucked up the world has gotten when it comes to real estate.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to
Agree.
pull a Justin about the Jews, but him and his family are all Mormons.
Mormons,
Yes.
which is odd because they're about big families. Like,
Mhm.
uh,
Well, I'm referring more to the money part because my experience with Mormons, not just him, but other Mormons, they are one step away from being Jewish when it comes to money.
I have no knowledge of that. Yeah, per family looks after family.
yeah,
Yeah, not according to my
That's how you.
brother-in-law. Everyone's out for themselves.
And if you do like a modicum amount of research and look into the wealthiest people on earth, it's because they've done just that.
Yeah, they've stayed
Yeah.
together as a family.
they work together to make sure that the next generation doesn't have to work as hard or
yeah,
has their choice of things to decide what to do with their life.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
and like the big problem I have with that group that was just mentioned is because they do their best to make sure other people can't form those family bonds. Right? It's nepotism when I hire my nephew to work for me. It's good social society when you do it. You know?
Yeah.
Nerdy, what do you mean by compendium for Spawn? for $8. It sounds like a good deal if it's hundreds of pages.
Oh man, there is like
compendiums are like super graphic novels. Like
yeah.
how
Okay.
they take 6 volumes of a book and make a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Well, compendiums will do like 40 or 50.
Okay, that's the
They'll
same as
do
an
an
omnibus.
entire arc.
Okay, an omnibus is usually like 30 issues in a row.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're one of the sites I like to look at for 3D prints for either you either have access to it if you pay the Patreon, or for $30 you can get a huge, like I think it stands 6 inches wide by this one's a little bit shorter at like I think 16 inches tall, but he's crouched, but it's a spawn that's crouched over with his chains out, and I think his fist is glowing with fire. He's already printed in. I think he comes in he comes in pieces, so I might be able to print him on my current printer. But I haven't. But I haven't a spawn.
Spawn, yeah.
I haven't the link trigger because. Sorry, go ahead.
Send me the link to the file location.
I'll see if I can. I think
that's funny.
Up right now.
Dirty, no booze and no caffeine make ogre go something something. Yeah, I don't do either of those, but I did, and now I don't. But I'm not gonna begrudge anybody if that's their thing. I mean, I'm still smoking, but that will pass soon.
You're going to get drunk in the next couple of days.
I don't know that that's a factual statement, but
you better have some of that eggnog and
bourbon,
and
whatever,
Kahlua or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Shadow.
Yo,
I understand why you drink water.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, you should treat yourself. Once or twice a year is not going to increase your weight any.
It's not about weight. It's about
freaking out baby Jackie when he was.
It was not just that with the water. It was I had done so much damage to my insides with caffeine, coffee, and soda. I literally can mark on my life decades where I didn't drink any water, like not even a drop.
Oh,
I see. And because I went to straight water and did other things that were healthy, I didn't end up in a hospital. And I don't want to end up like Hungar, with similar issues. So, speaking of which, where the frick is that guy? We better see Hungar Monday. We better see him Monday.
Do you see this comment right here?
I have seen him yesterday.
I don't believe this comment.
Which comment?
The one right by my head. Off grid.
He's giving up booze in the new year, but I like my coffee in the morning.
Yeah, I drink throughout the day. The booze in the new year part, I don't believe.
I got a few bad habits I wouldn't mind giving up, admittedly. So I got to see it.
Yeah.
I got to see about doing that.
Plus, I'm really strict on myself. If I say I'm not going to do something, I don't do it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because if I can't keep it.
I have no idea where it comes from. Every great once in a while, though, I can do that. But it's not like I can just do that anytime I want. I really, really, really wish I could.
Thanks. Yeah.
Sorry, I needed to mute myself. We definitely need an excellent example of when I was a kid, I chewed on my fingernails. One day, I literally go, I'm not chewing on my fingernails anymore, and I've not chewed on them since.
Good for you.
But I've tried to do that exact thought process with other things, and it fails like 2 seconds later. I don't get it.
I tried that with not calling Shadow gay, but then I realized it would be too funny to keep doing it, so I said, fuck it. Shadow, by the way, you're gay.
No, I'm not. But it is funny. It is funny because, where I come from, we would tease people with giving them nicknames or things like jokes like that for the exact opposite of what they are. So, thank you.
Not here.
I know.
I think you're actually gay. You flying fruitcake.
No. Yeah, perseverance is the key, and Um, when you get to a certain point, you have to decide, how you want to go out. And I don't want to go out in a hospital bed, with something I could have prevented. Um,
I
Ruben
want to
Blake,
go out in my own version of the Playboy Mansion.
Sh- Shadow,
uh,
shadow, shadow, shadow. You're not going to
There's
go
a
out
couple.
until you dive into the sun.
probably. Thank you. A big wake up call was our friend Brian from Weird World War II. He went to the gym and overdid it and almost died.
Yeah, he looked
And,
at the treadmill.
yeah, and
I
he just
want a
tried to really
treadmill so
overdo it, I
badly.
guess. And it wasn't that; it was how bummed he was having to be in the hospital for an extended period of time. And that right there would drive me up a freaking wall. I don't know how Grim did it for 3 days, let alone Brian did it for like 2 weeks. I would just be like, I, I once had a cast on my leg, and it wasn't broken, but I tore some stuff. And after
Yeah.
about a week or two, I cut it off myself and said, "Screw this." And I imagine it being like that with my entire body sitting in a hospital bed. I don't care how much internet I have, I would still be just like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My
And
my
then he
first
died.
my first thought was not that, but actually was a Billingwell joke. It should go straight to Shadow. Quit smoking. He goes to acupuncture. He's got acupuncture all over. He's got pins here, pins there, pins at his knees, pins between his toes, and he's just sitting there going, "Damn, I could really use a cigarette right about now."
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'm not doing the acupuncture.
Oh,
I am looking into different ways to make it easier, but because it's like the hardest thing to quit. But I've seen other people do it. I know I can do it.
pay for a plane ticket, and I'll be right out there to make sure you don't smoke.
Yeah, he'll have that taser.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
I wasn't even thinking about it. Oh, by the way.
wow, Per, that's brutal. That's brutal. He lifted so much he broke his ribs. Holy crap!
Oh yeah, it's
Ugh.
possible.
Sure, sure, sure. I'm just picturing him, bench pressing and then pop. Oh, just ah.
There was actually a guy who I don't know how famous the story is, but a guy who literally was lifting on stage, ripped his heart. It wasn't a heart attack. He
Yeah.
strained his heart so much it literally tore itself.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I'm
you
not doing that
see,
either.
Shadow, I will guarantee you that I will tase you so many times that you also rip your heart.
Thanks, man. What a pal.
Not because I think you need it, but because I think it would be funny to do to you.
Sure, sure.
And then we watch Shadow get back up and say, "Damn it, this one was fresh. I now have to get a new one."
Yeah, again. Where is the 4-year-old child?
You guys are terrible. You guys are terrible. But I know a guy, so you know.
Yeah, he supplies you with child organs.
Oh yeah, like that would work.
You gotta get them fresh, man. It's the only way you're staying alive this long.
I just don't picture that working. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
just
like
shut up.
it's like a quarter the size. You got to lay there and wait for it to grow to normal size for like
Whoa,
12 years.
whoa, whoa. You ever watch Pitch Meeting?
No.
No, Pitch Meeting? Okay, I'll send you a link to the YouTube channel, Pitch Meetings. Oh, it's a funny
Joe?
show. Yeah, it's like the guy will take like the concept of a movie that just came out, and he pretends like he's the writer pitching it to the executive.
Thanks, Per. Thanks, Per. I appreciate that. All you guys out there tonight. It's about time to wrap up. I got to take care of some stuff and spend some time with the boy. He's patiently waiting for me to watch something. I don't know what.
You guys start Babylon 5 yet?
Nope, nope. We're gonna pick some good stuff, but I'm also gonna be playing some Red Dead with him over the vacation. As it all play, and he'll tell me what to do and what not to do. So to make it a little easier because he's played the hell out of it, and it's a Western video game. And I'm like, why haven't I done this? Oh yeah, because normally I fall asleep with the controller in my hand, wake up and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And my character's been dead for an hour and a half. Um,
Yeah.
which
I
is
recommend you check out one of those pitch meeting videos. I sent it to you as well, TCG.
thank you.
Okay.
So I won't see some of you until after the holidays. But I will see most of you Monday on Justin's show.
We're doing Monday.
Mhm.
I'll see you tomorrow night, so
Yeah, of course, of
doesn't
course.
matter.
And I'll see you off grid. Take care, Per, and everybody else. Nerdy. Next time you guys want to come on in, just let me know. You're on my Discord. Just hit the link. Come on in, especially if we're just goofing off like we did tonight. We will in the new year talk about whatever it was we were supposed to talk about tonight. Um, we're gonna, yeah. I've watched him play it, and it's very much like just watching a Western movie in some instances. But every time, once in a while, the other screens will come up and blah blah blah. But I'm looking forward to it. But everybody else out there, have a Merry Christmas. Thanks for sticking around and playing along with us. This was fun tonight.
yeah. If you could do me a favor, try and kill the suffragette. I think you can shoot her.
Okay. I'll ask Jackie. I'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody else out there, give your families a hug and enjoy yourself this holiday.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. And uh, crafting, you got anything going on?
Right at this particular moment, no. I still need to see about getting a video made, but
Thanks, Per.
I'm not very good at going 1,000 directions at once. Okay, this is not the same.
Yeah, just pick 2 or 3, maybe 4 tops. That way you can go in all 4 directions.
Yeah. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone.
And that way we'll know where to find your parts. North, south, east, or west, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Shadow really wants to find your parts. He needs a stockpile of human organs.
You
Sell
kidding
on
me?
the
He
black
only wants
market.
one part.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't want that.
No. Well, no. I was gonna say something. I was
Hey,
gonna
that's
say
no
something.
worse than Hungar. One of his characters has a giant's or some sort of creature's ball sack as a coin purse, and as a halfling. Or no, this one is actually Yield
The only
Geek.
place.
Yield Geek as a goblin has a giant's foreskin as a sleeping bag.
All right, folks, we're out of here. You guys have a great evening.
TMI. Like,
Yeah. And yeah, Burr says make some Robotech videos.
Yeah, make some Robotech
I do
videos.
need to get back to those.
Tell us about that time Mime got ran through by a train. Shadow was telling me about that. I need more.
Yeah, it's in one of the last paperback books.
Yeah, I went looking for the paperback books because I didn't believe you and I couldn't find them.
Yeah, they're probably pretty hard to find. I used to have the whole run, and then I sold them on eBay like a dumbass. They were actually really good. Yeah, the paperbacks were really good. Took away a lot of the cutesiness and stuff like that. But yeah, it was like I think they went to like book 18, and then it was the book after that. Crafting, you have to verify it for me because
there are 21 from what I understand.
Yeah, I got the entire collection. There's quite a few.
Yeah, it was Edwards or whoever the guy with the mechanical eye. She was like tied up on his like crucified on the bridge of his ship for a time.
Yeah.
But anyways, I will see you guys later. Merry Christmas and happy trails.
Merry Christmas.
See you, everybody.